Hi, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Katie of the Greenland Quilter, and I'm really sorry about this hot mess. I don't know what was causing problems. I went to bring my laptop up, and it said something about that Abbas had to reload itself, and then when it reloaded itself, it had an error. So I tried to start the live on Chrome and got everything over there, and I was thinking it was all going to work, and then nothing. It just sat there and did nothing. So I had to reinstall Avast and then restart my laptop and then hope for the best. And looks like I'm here, but I don't know if you guys know I'm here. So I don't know. This is a big mess up, but I don't really know what caused it. I don't feel that it's something I did. I think something's going on with my laptop. So anyhow, um, I need to get the other camera up. So give me a couple minutes to work on that. And I'll wait for, I hope everybody will show up. I am so sorry. Hey, Cindy, can you help me a little bit, y'all? Tell everybody that the live's up. If everything looks like it's working on your end, let everybody know because I had to try. This is my fourth go around, and I finally what I ended up doing was reinstalling something and then restarting the laptop and start again. And now it looks like it's working. So I don't know exactly what caused it, but I'm going to try to get my other camera up here directly. And yeah, oh, now I can breathe, I hope. So let me get my other part of this up. So, and I'm going to repost my little poll here in a few minutes because we're going to talk about what's going on tomorrow here in Greenland because I think it's fun and I'm going to try my darndest to get down there and get as much footage as I can of the celebration tomorrow. And yep, you're going to see me yawning because this happens in the most inopportune time, always. Never fails. Okay. Okay, let me get my phone up, my camera up, and then we are going to get on with this. And I hope the people who are waiting patiently for me to get this to work comes back. Earlier, I was watching YouTube and just went black for a long time today. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Um, I, I, everything looked right, but when I'd hit the go live, nothing would happen. It just sat there. You usually get this thing that says going live and they'll have a bar and the bar will go across the screen. And then when it reaches to the other end of it, um, then you tell you to hit the go live button. And yeah, I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. Hey, Michael. Hey, Patty G. Hello, Cindy Good. Hello, Mary. Yeah, y'all spread the word because the people who were in here waiting, I don't see them in here now. So they may have given up because I told them I was having trouble. So anyhow, yeah, I hope everybody will come back. If not, this okay. Stuff happens. Just saying. So how's everybody doing and how's your Friday going? Or what are y'all going to be doing this evening? Guys, a Friday evening or are you Lord? Sorry, guys. Okay, now I got this working. So let's get this up here. All right, you'll be able to see what I'm doing because we're going to work on the Moda Blockheads block tonight. The reason I do it last night is because it was the third Thursday, which is when I do the uh channel so that was last night. So every third Thursday I'll be doing this Moda Blockhead block on Friday instead of Thursday. But I also have something I'm hoping to entice you guys with. Look what came. I got snail mail today after all this time of waiting. The 3 things I've been looking for came today. But I'm only going to open 2 of them is for my ambassador stuff. So I'll be doing those on pre-records. But the one that's my actual subscription that I've been doing for a long time, we're going to open that tonight. But I want to do the block first because this block is interesting, and I think that it's probably going to give me a good ride today because it's different. And I'll be showing you on my tablet because I ran out of printer ink. And so, or we can go to the website and have a look. But right now, what I want to do is I'm trying to get my line strong because we're going to be doing doing an economy block, and we're going to be doing rectangle triangles, which is, yeah, that I haven't done those in a really long time. And the ones I have done in the past was me messing around. So this is actually for the block. So it's going to be interesting. And I'm hoping and praying that we don't run into an obstacle with that too. And if we do, it's all good. Teresa was planning on coming on with me tonight. But they're having bad weather over her way. She lives in North Idaho. I think she said North Idaho. So they're having thunderstorms, and it keeps knocking the internet and their power out. So there's that problem too. So let's start with I want to try to get my poll up. Yeah, it's up. Thank you, Pat, for coming back. I'm going to repost my poll, and and I'll explain why I'm doing this poll. Tomorrow is Greenland's international, or what they call National Day tomorrow. And so the poll is going to have to do with when did they get granted home rule. Okay, so I'm going to put the question up here, and I want to see how many can guess what year Greenland was granted home rule. Let's see here. 1959. Hang on a second. I need to go make sure I put this up right. Because I don't want to put the wrong date. Because there's a couple dates involved with this. Because there's 2 dates that we're going to talk about. Yeah, 2 dates. And we're going to talk about it because it's a lot of people don't know a lot about Greenland. And so I want you to read the poll. The poll says, what year was Greenland granted home rule? Now, there's home rule is where they can establish their own government. And so let me talk a little bit about that real quick, and then y'all can figure out about the poll. Mary says, we were having bad weather too in Oregon, thunder and heavy rains. Y'all stay safe. Hi, everybody. I'm going to be working on my Moda Blockheads #1. I'm a little behind. Okay, Pat, I'll be working on block 4 here directly, but I wanted to talk a little bit first about what's going to be going on. So Greenland does not have full independence, but rather a form of self-governance within the Kingdom of Denmark. Greenland's National Day is on June the 21st, which is also summer solstice. While Greenland gained greater autonomy in certain year with the establishment of the home rule and further self-governance in a later date with the Self-Government Act, but it's still not fully independent. The Self-Government, oh my gosh, the Self-Government Act, which came into effect, transferred more power to Greenland. Okay, so you're probably saying, well, what does that exactly mean? Well, before this self-government stuff, Denmark controlled everything. Uh, anything they wanted to do, they couldn't do. Okay, so now they pretty much are running the country, and because of the recent current geopolitical stuff that's going on and has been going on for the last year, a lot of the things that Denmark um, still controlled is starting to be treated in a different way. And you're probably like, well, what does that mean? Well, um, Greenland wants to be its own independent sovereign nation. What country doesn't want to be? That makes perfect sense. So what's going to happen is, while they're trying to reach that capacity, Denmark will be guiding them. But when it's something really important, the buck is going to stop with Greenland. And I need to turn another light on. Looks like I forgot to turn on, but anyway, I'll turn it on in a minute. So currently, mostly the things that Denmark mostly controls is foreign affairs, the military, and a little bit of what relates to policing and monetary stuff. And so now that we have a new government here, because this year they had elections earlier in the year, this new government is going to try to pull Greenland into a more modern way of ruling the whole country. And Denmark and Faroe Islands are all going to come together. And so Greenland, if and when it does reach independence, it'll still be underneath the Danish realm, but it'll be its own entity. It's just like if with United Kingdom, UK, you have England, Scotland, Ireland, and one other place. I can't think of the name of it right this minute. They're all self countries, but when it comes to the bigger realm, they all come together and make decisions. And so a lot of that's been going on here. And over the last few days, the Danish military has been sending more sending more military equipment, more people on the ground. France was here 3 days ago, or a few days ago, yeah, less than a week ago. They came in on Sunday, and the president of France, and he left on Monday afternoon. And France has opened a dialogue and a collaboration between Greenland and France. France wants to help. And so because the island is so big and because of where it's at, it has to have more protection away from certain bad characters. And so basically what the Danes and the Faroese and the Greenlanders want to bring Greenland and its whole realm into a more modern way of doing things. And so there's going to be open collaboration between all the countries, the three countries, and they're going to work together as a team. And then NATO and the United Nations will also be working with all of this, along with the European Union. Now, I don't know how the European Union is going to play into this, because there's bad feelings between Greenland and the European Union, because the European Union wants to control fishing rights, and the Greenlandic people are like, no, we're not doing this. So that's where we are on it. And so tomorrow I'm going to be making footage. I'm going to go down there early tomorrow, and they're going to have big celebration going on tomorrow. We're going to the hotel is sponsoring a barbecue, so I'm going to make sure I go eat there, and I'll take some film of that. And they're going to have music down in town square. There's going to be some speeches. There's going to be some flag raising later tomorrow evening, which I'll be on a live and won't be able to go down there, I don't think, unless I take you guys down on my phone and then come back and get back on the laptop. They're going to be doing more food and celebration. I haven't decided on what I want to do about tomorrow afternoon, because I think it starts around 6 or 7, I believe. And I don't know if I want to sacrifice my life for it or not. So I have to think about that. We'll see how tomorrow progresses, because I think I'll get enough footage that you guys can see how how things are done here when it comes to celebrating something, because this is a big deal. Tomorrow's the longest day of the year. So at 1:45 a.m. tonight will be the longest day for summer solstice. So we'll have sunrise around 4 o'clock or something, and it'll go all the way to 1:45 in the morning. For those of you who live in the more northern United States, make sure you go out. If you have an area where there's not light pollution, make sure you go out there tonight, because there was another release of a CME from the sun, and there's going to be some northern lights. I won't get to see any northern lights because we just have too much daylight now. Yes, we're supposed to have 2 hours of darkness. It doesn't get dark. It's more like twilight. So anyway, there's that. Hello, Lori. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Sherry. Thank you all for those of you that didn't give up on me and came back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Something on the laptop, and I have two browsers. One is Chrome, Google Chrome, and the other one is Advest. It's an Advest browser that comes with my security software that keeps people from getting, cracking into the laptop or keeping bad files off my laptop, which I don't normally download files I think would be bad anyway. Anyway, I use its browser, and for whatever weird reason, when I came in here and found the laptop shut off, because I left it running alive last night. I was running two people's lives, and I went to bed. And when I came in here today, I found it off. So when I went to log on, I had an error thing going on. It said that Avest needs to reinstall. And then when it reinstalled, I couldn't bring it up at all. So then I tried to switch everything over to Google Chrome, and I couldn't even get the live to come up on Chrome. So what I ended up doing is I uninstalled Avest completely, restarted my laptop, then reinstalled it, let the software do its thing, and sat patiently and waited for it to get done. And then when I tried resetting the live again, everything came up. So there must have been some kind of bug inside the browser that caused all this. Okay, now enough of all that. Okay, today I'm going to work on Moda Blockheads 6 Block 4. And I don't have it printed because I ran out of printer ink again. And I haven't had a chance to go get some more. Okay, so I'm hoping you can see this on the tablet. This block, give me a heart if everybody can see this okay, or do you want me to bring it closer to the camera? Let me know. Give me a heart or a yes or no. You can see it. Yes, you can see it, or no, you're having difficulty seeing it, because I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Let me know. GQ. Everybody there, or did y'all leave? I hope you didn't. Hi, everyone. Okay. So this block is called Cat's Claw. And y'all probably can, I'm going to make this get bigger so you can look. Can you see this? Okay, so on this cat's claw, you have a square and a square, or an economy block, whichever you want to call it. That's what the center looks like. But over here on the outer perimeter, we have rectangle triangles. So this is probably where I'm going to have grief at. My overhead's not working. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Can you see it now? Oh, you're right. It's not working. What the heck? Hold on a minute. I'm going to see if I can figure out what's going on here. Let's end this one. Sorry, guys. Having all kinds of trouble, it looks like. Okay. Hang on. Let me know when you can see the second camera. Wow, we're just having all kinds of trouble today. Okay, now you can see it. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. All right, let's try this again. Wow, I'm having all kinds of trouble today. Okay. All right. All right. Let me shrink it back down again and show you the block itself, what we're going to be working on. Okay, this is called a cat's claw. So you have a square and a square, but then you have right here, this is a rectangle triangle. So this will probably be where we're going to have the biggest difficulty. So what I decided to do is I'll go ahead and do the square and a square first, and then what I decided to do about the rectangle triangle is it says that you're supposed to cut 3x5 triangles because you're going to do two sets. You're going to do the background, which I'm using for the white, okay? And then I'm using the yellow here as well. So I cut the white a little bit bigger, just 1/8 of an inch bigger, and I'm going to align it on two sides and sew it, okay? And then we'll go through the steps of cutting the rectangle or sizing it the proper size. Okay, so let me show you what I chose for the colors. And I need to make room for everything here. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna set the tablet over here so you can see the block. And this is gonna make a 9-inch block. So I chose this for the center. So this is one of those times where you can do like actually, I had all kinds of ideas. You can do a fussy cut. Yeah, can't make up my mind how I want this to be. You can do a fussy cut, or you can create a block or you can either leave the negative space like what you see in the middle there, or you can put a 4-patch in there, you can put a pinwheel in there or an hourglass. You can get as creative as you want to with the center of that. So what I decided to do is I don't usually do fussy cuts much. And like I said, I can't decide, oh, let's do it this way. Okay, so this is batik. And let me put it up here closer so you can see look at that. Isn't that pretty? So I'm going to use that for the center. And then for the, when we're doing the square and square kind of deal here, I'm going to be using this dark purple. And then the outer ring is going to be yellow and white. And the white is the background. So it'll tie in with everything else. And then what I'll do when I finish this block is I'll show you all the blocks so you can see they're all going to tie into each other over time. You may think, well, gosh, that's an odd color there. But you know me, I want to get as colorful and scrappy as I can get. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sew these blocks on here, you know, or what you might call, some people call it snowballing, some people call it stitch and flip. But anyways, all it is a square and a square pretty much. So I'll go ahead and do those first. And then we will work on these rectangles next. Okay. And if you have any questions, let me know. There is, you're going to end up with, you know, you'll see. Okay. All right. So how's everybody doing today? Did you have a good Friday? Anything interesting happening your way that you want to talk about? And don't forget to, let's see how many people can guess the date on my poll. And I know that you're going to say, well, I don't know anything about Greenland. Just guess. This is for fun. This is no me judging anyway. I'm not going to do that. Because when I first moved here, do you think I knew what the date was for that? No. And also, after we make the block, we're going to open a box. Because I got mail today. All right, I needed a leader, so I'm going to make me a new leader. Okay. So tell me how your day's been. I hope everybody's had a really good day. And are you working on anything tonight? Let me know what it is. Oh, I need to change the foot. Oops. I can't use that foot like that. I need the other foot. Okay. Well, I might want to pin this maybe. So tell me about your day. How have you been? What kind of day have y'all had today? I hope it's been good. Y'all are very quiet today. Really, Nora? Lori says she's making supper. What you making for supper? I'm curious to see what they're going to serve as a barbecue tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll see some ribs on that barbecue that they're going to do tomorrow through the hotel. Because if they are, then I'll be snatching me up some ribs. I didn't know apparently they did the barbecue last year. I just didn't know about it. Oh, hush. I know what you want, and I'll get it to you soon. Okay. So I went ahead and I pinned it on two sides. That way I could do both of them at the same time. All right. So let me put this in the center and change my stitch length. Steelhead trout. I've never had wow. I've never had steelhead trout, but I have had trout here. And I think I like salmon more than I like trout. Did you catch it or is it farm raised? Oh, okay, Sherry, sending you the link. Sorry, I just saw that. Hold on. Let me send you the link. Forward to Sherry. Okay, I sent it, Sherry. I think. Yep, it's sent. Hey, Judy, how's it going? So anyone else making dinner right now? And if you are, what are you making? It was wild caught, and it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like salmon. Yeah. We have the trout here, and it could be that the trout that I had Um, I'm kind of weird because I don't like it fish tasting like it smells. And this particular trout did, so I think that maybe whoever caught it and gave it to my husband didn't handle it properly. Oh, really? I made a boo-boo. I thought it looked like it caught it, but I wasn't sure until I took it off. Nora, stop. You'll get fed soon. Okay, let me fix that real quick. I mean, it was okay. It just seemed stronger than the salmon is. But I've gotten spoiled by how the salmon, when we first catch the salmon, Torben really takes really good care about not letting it sit for very long. Been putting it on ice and then getting it in the freezer quickly. Going good, waiting for pizza delivery. No cooking for her. Oh, I miss getting pizza, man. That's one of the things I do miss about our country is pizza. And I'm a Pizza Hut person, so I especially miss Pizza Hut. But you know, it's funny. I used to love pizza all the time, and then I went to work for Pizza Hut and worked for them for about 2 years. And I was bringing pizza home all the time because you could as an employee. And after a while, this chickadee got tired of pizza. And I went through a period of time where I didn't eat it for a long time because I, had got myself burnt out on it. So now, because I can't buy it whenever I want to, I'm more appreciative of it. So I'm just going to put the seam roller on here, and then I'm going to trim these blocks because I'm just making sure they're where they're supposed to be. And and I've been saving all my little half triangles. Like here, these are all from the other day, from last week's Moda Blockheads. Look at all. These were all cut. Yeah, see? And I sewed them all. Okay, let's get this trimmed. Where's I thought I brought that blade in here. Yeah, I did. Right there it is. All right, let me move this over a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna lay them up here and I'll sew them later. Because what I'm gonna do is take all these small triangles and stuff, and I think I'm just gonna make a really random scrap quilt where these triangles, I might have, when I have that, like you saw, I had a lot of little triangles there. I think I'm gonna sew them all as one block going in like a certain direction. And then, okay, so now we got this side done. Let me put the roller on it again. I'm going to put heat to it, but I want to wait until I do the other two sides. Okay, all right. Now we're going to put this side on. Same thing, we're going to do both sides. And you saw me pinning. I like to pin them so they don't move around because I want to make sure that this diagonal line, sew line, goes like it's supposed to. And I'm sure y'all can hear Nora fussing. Can you email me the link? Messenger does not want to let me in. Yes, I can. Hold on. All right, let me go to the email. Sorry, guys. Give me a minute. Oh, hush up. All right, Google. Oh, stop, Nora. Give me a second, guys. Let me see here. I need to change accounts. I'm going to send Sherry an email with all the information. Those of you that have channels that are, if there's anyone sitting in the, oh my gosh, if there's anyone sitting in here, that has a channel, do you guys get emails from people wanting to help you make your YouTube channel better? Because I've been getting a lot of them lately, and I'm like, I don't, and the things they say are wrong with it. When I go look, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Zoom. Okay. Let's get her that information. And send the email. Okay, I've sent the email, Sherry. All right. Let me get back to what I was doing. Okay, hey, Donna Dixon. How are you? Okay, so let me get these pinned on here, and then we're going to sew these on too. And I'm hoping that everything stays put where it belongs. All right, let's get this other side done. I need to figure out how to turn that go to sleep mode on my Kindle off. If I have it idle too long, it wants to go to sleep. Nora, stop. She's like, nope, not going to stop. I can only think about one thing right now, and you're not taking care of it. She's missing her daddy too. So yesterday, Nikolai was supposed to have left really early in the morning, and he went to the airport. But before he went to the airport, I told him, I said, have you looked out the window? And he said, no. I said, you should see what it looks like outside. A big, huge fog bank rolled in during the night. Ah, there you are. And
hold on.
Before he went to the airport, I told him, I said,
okay,
have you looked out the window?
Oh, I got to turn you down here.
Okay. So I told him, I said, you might not be flying anywhere because I don't think that helicopter's going to want to fly in that fog. Sure enough, he goes down to the airport, heliport rather, and he calls back and he says, I'm on my way back home. It looks like I won't be going anywhere till maybe 3 o'clock tomorrow in the afternoon. I'm like, oh, more time for us. And so when they reset his time to fly, the flight that he would have went out on yesterday got canceled for him because he wouldn't be there when he was supposed to be there. So then it was going to be, he would fly 3:30 in the afternoon from here, go to Narsarsuaq, and then he was going to spend the night in Narsarsuaq, and then he was going to fly from Narsarsuaq to Nuuk, and then he was going to spend 2 nights in Nuuk, and then fly to Sisimiut. And the skipper of the boat was like, Nikolai said he was fussy about it. And I'm like, did you tell him that you can't control the weather? He knows. So I don't know what happened between yesterday and today, but somebody must have bent the ear on someone, because when Nikolai got up this morning, he got a message saying instead he was supposed to fly at 3 this afternoon. They changed his flight to 10 a.m. this morning. He went to Nuuk and then to Sisimiut, and now he's on the boat. So no spending the night anywhere. He went on the boat.
Mm.
So the skipper must have called the office, and the office must have bent somebody's ear.
Used his power.
Yep, they used their power. Like, you cannot do this. Blah, blah. Stop.
She's in the mom. She's doing that early today.
Well, actually, you know what time it is? It's 9 o'clock.
I
had a rough time getting my live up. It would not go up.
Oh,
it ended up with me uninstalling and reinstalling software and then rebooting the whole system, because when I walked in here, my laptop was off. And I don't know what happened.
I lost track of time too, Katie.
Yep,
I didn't realize what time it was.
Yep. I mean, it took me almost an hour to get myself back online.
Don't you just love when those things happen? It's just,
Yeah.
it's like, I'm done learning my lessons. Just let me be.
And you don't know, you know what's weird about the whole thing is you don't know it's going to happen until you go hit that live button.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
it's like nothing happens. And it's like, okay, you give it a couple minutes and nothing happens. So you go and reset a new one, and the new one wouldn't do anything either. And I'm like, okay. And it was all because something happened to my Avest. And I tried, so because I was having trouble with it, I tried to bring everything up on Google Chrome. And I still don't understand what the deal is that I couldn't have brought it up on Google Chrome. I mean, that I really don't understand what the deal is. So
I wonder if
anyway,
something happened during the night because you said you had it going. I wonder if
yeah, I left it
a
running,
glitch.
and something must have happened because when I walked in here today, my laptop was off.
That's unusual.
Yeah.
It's
So
like it updated or something.
yeah, I have a feeling it tried to do something and had an error or something. I don't know. All right, now I have this other one sewn on here, and as you can see, we now have a block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it over to the iron, and then I'll spotlight it so you can have a look at the block before we start doing the next portion. And this is where we're going to have lots of fun. Hey, Laura Sup. Hey, AC Ace, Florida. Welcome, welcome. Guess what I got today? Look, Sherry.
What did you get?
Hey.
Ooh.
I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and more
I
waiting.
know. It's like Christmas Day again.
I got to figure out which box is my actual subscription because the other two, I think there's two boxes in the other one. And if they are, it's the Modern Maker boxes. And I'll be doing those on a different video.
Oh, okay.
My actual subscription, if this is my actual subscription, we'll do that one today.
It's Modern Maker,
Well,
one of your new ones, or you've been waiting for it?
This should be April and May's Modern Maker boxes.
Okay.
Because I'm an ambassador. This
right.
should be this art should be April's platinum. I hope. We'll know when I open the box. So y'all have to hang about if you want to see what's in that box.
Let's see.
Do you see what I chose for the middle of this block, Sherry?
Oh, that's pretty.
Y'all like the purple going around it?
I like it. Well, that's in the blue family, and orange and blue.
Yep.
Go good together.
Yep. It's and this yellow that they did, it's really cool. I was kind of hoping I'd get the flower to the middle, but yeah, it didn't work out the way I wanted it. But it's okay. It's all colorful and pretty.
Put it under your camera there. Yeah.
All right, let me spotlight it so everybody can see it.
Oh yeah, that it reminds me of Hawaii.
Yeah, it's very. I only have like a half a yard of this. I think
that's really pretty.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what, and I have another one that has purple in the background with yellow on it. It's similar to this one, but this one I really like how bright and happy it is.
Yeah,
and that purple.
I do too. It looks good on the design board that you have. It looks like it's framed.
Yeah.
You gonna frame that one?
I wish. But it's gonna get framed by more fabric. That's what's gonna happen to it. I just gotta make sure I want this the way I want it to. Yeah. Let's see. It's gonna be interesting how this is gonna end up, I think. Because I have to decide. I guess it's not gonna matter when I start putting the other part on here. Anyway, that's what it looks like. So now what we got to do is, like I was talking about here, now we get to make these triangle rectangles.
Oh, okay. I know it. Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah. Let's see if I can screw it up. Because we all know that I'm angle challenged.
That's one of those that it depends on how well that they give you a description of what to do.
Well, this one said, here, let me show you what it says to do, because this is allowed to be shown. They have you doing this with it. They say mark a center line on your background, which I did right here,
Okay.
so that you can see. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna put this tablet up here where you can see what it says to do.
Okay. Yeah. It's, you know, where I end up having the situation is the corner to the corner. I end up wanting to put the outer corner. I put the corners wrong. So that's probably one of the, you know, places to watch, because that's where I get messed up.
And then down here it tells you to trim it. And I think that's where I'm gonna have trouble, is this trimming stuff.
It'll actually probably come out pretty good if you that part, if you can get the other part.
Yeah, if I get the other part done in the right direction, right?
Yes, or the right the correct tip to the correct tip. You know, it wants to give me trouble.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to unspotlight again. Hey, Linda Faust, how are you? Hello, Fern King. Welcome, welcome. Hello, Canadian Family Life. Welcome. Uh-oh.
What?
This. Look. I cut on the fold. Didn't even notice I had done it.
You probably have enough. Okay. You'll have enough because it's oversized. They're oversized.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I didn't realize I had done that though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone else ever have a problem with doing those half square rectangles?
Yeah, inquiring minds want to know, have you ever done them? And if you have you had issues with it?
And is there a trick that you do to overcome that?
So it wants this to be, so you're going to do, we're not laying them straight on. Duh. You sure this is going to work right?
Yeah, it looks really funky, but it does.
This is scary.
I know. As long as you don't cut anything, you're okay.
Okay.
As long as you don't cut it apart and you just audition it by pulling that one top fabric back, you should see your half square rectangle. If it doesn't look right, then you know you didn't sew it right.
Judy says she always has issues.
I know. I guess it's one of those things that we got to do it. We have to do them enough to where we get over.
Well,
I don't know. It's the way your brain has to think.
Yeah. If it push comes to shove, there is always creating a paper piecing out of it.
Oh.
Just saying.
Maybe
because the finished block is supposed to be 2 by 3.5. So why couldn't you draw a 3.5 by 2 inch on paper and make sure you got that 1/4 inch seam allowance sitting in there and draw it on paper?
Well,
put that line on it and then paper piece it.
Sounds good.
I mean, wouldn't that work too?
Yeah, if you could paper piece it, to me, it would sure help the angle I have to do.
Yeah, because I bet you, if it was Kimberly, she'd be thinking of some paper piecing to do with it.
Everything can be paper pieced almost, huh? Other than an applique.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to do the first two the way it says to do it. So, wait a minute. Where's the picture at? They do look weird.
They do, but just look at it one step at a time, maybe.
Yeah. It's like, how can that even make anything?
I know, but it does. And it's weird.
Yeah. So we're gonna and y'all are gonna see this me doing it. So if I make a mistake, you know why.
Because those give everybody a problem.
I've heard some people talking about that it's giving them problems, but Jess is not in here, so she's off out of town, so I can't ask her what she did.
Yeah, she's in New York, huh?
Yeah.
Visiting family.
Yeah.
Well, to her, those angles are nothing.
Yeah, Miss Mathematician.
I know.
Good at math. I'm just challenged when it comes to angles.
Yeah. Well, I think we all can be at times. And that's one I'd have to say that I am on, that it challenges me.
Yeah. If you gave me a math problem where it had like 10 sets of numbers in it, to add together, I could do that just like that. Because I know how to round up and down. Because I do it in the grocery store a lot. Because I'm too lazy to take out a calculator. Really?
Poor baby.
You're so mistreated. So mistreated.
I had done an estate sale from a lady who had passed away. She was a young woman, but I have bags of these pre-cut Dresden blades in different colors, like this, and the circles. I decided I'm sewing them together. I'm going to make something out of them. I'm honoring her life.
Wait a second. Is this thing saying that you...
One corner, you have your rectangle and another rectangle.
Look down here. Look what it's saying down on that second set of graphics.
The bottom with the picture.
Yeah, you see
don't
that?
don't even look at it at this point, because that can confuse you. You'll understand it when you sew that.
Because it looks like it's telling you to sew a quarter. Yeah, it is telling you to sew a 1/4 inch on either side of the marked line.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So right now we're just setting up. We're not sewing yet. Okay.
No,
got it.
You're setting
all right. Let's get these two done, and then we'll set these others over here. Okay. Got it. All right. Let me go back to that picture again, because now we're going to do the opposite direction. Okay. So now we want it to go this way. Okay, that's interesting.
Right.
Why is this not? Look, this one's laying straight on here like it's supposed to.
Cindy said to maybe try it on a scrap, cut a piece and try it. Says if you mock this up on paper first, sew it together, fold and trim, then that way you have a visual.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's make a scrap. Hold on a minute. Let me go get something to cut.
Don't feel bad. It does throw you off.
Yeah, because why? Well, see, the first two flipped the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
You know, this one. But why is this one not doing that?
The other one, they want you to do it the opposite. And you may have your corners.
Oh, maybe I haven't got it on here.
Yeah, you may have your corners hitting it the wrong way. I did. I'm telling you from experience, girl.
Apparently,
experience flub up is what I'm talking about.
Well, for one thing, my rectangle is a little bit off. Let me hang on a second. I need to do something here. I think that I might have. No, they're not off. Maybe I drew the line wrong. No, I don't know what I did. Hang on, let me go get scrap piece of fabric.
Okay, yeah, start over where that's not in your head. I'm trying to thread a needle. My needle threader isn't working on my sewing machine. I need to take this in because I moved my sewing machine back the way it was months ago. And I did clean it, but now it doesn't want to move the needle left to right. So I probably should take the needle plate off and try it again and see if it's I've done something. So let's see. I think I'll do some yellow ones here. I'm used to, oh yeah, the Seam Ripper song just popped in my mind. Yep. Too used to singing it. Thanks, Lynne. Huh?
Lynne's in here?
No, she Ollie's singing the Seam Ripper song. She says now it's in her head, and I says, yeah, thanks, Lynne.
That is cute. She always seems to, she's always got some cute things that come up. She comes up with.
Come up with stuff quick. She's quick-witted.
She definitely does. All right, let me see here. I need to take batting off the back of this. There's a piece of scrap. Let's see if I can. I don't think this going onto this one either. All right, got my 2 pieces of scrap. Let's set these batiks aside. And we're going to cut these blocks so that we can make a couple test pieces. All right. So they're supposed to be, these rectangles are supposed to be 3 by 5s.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut. I need to move stuff. I don't have space. And everything's in my darn way. Okay. Cutting from the wrong side of the fabric. Well, yeah, I need the ruler down here on the end of the fabric so that I can. Okay, y'all bear with me here.
We're with you.
I told you this might not be pretty.
I know.
Because it's the first time me doing this. Yep. And if all else fails, we're going to break out the paper. All right, where did my rotary cutter go? There it is. I'm going to cut it a little big so I can trim it down. I mean, cut it down to the size that's required. Okay, turn this around because I needed a straight line. All right, so we need this to be 5 inches long. That, and then it needs to be 3 inches, but I need to make a straight line first.
Laura says she's not a paper piece fan. She says she wished she was.
Well, I don't paper piece all the time, but I do have to, I do like doing it.
Yeah, she says she likes what you can do with it. Yeah, you can get those points really work.
Sometimes when all else fails, paper piece it.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the first piece cut. Now let's get the second one, and it's going to be weird. These do not match, but it's okay. Let me see which end of this I want to use. Okay. I wonder, make sure this is 3. Yeah, it's big enough, but it does need to be pressed. And raw edges, not flat. So, Did you watch some of the live last night?
Me?
Yeah.
I was on there. I
Yeah,
was on for a while.
okay. Were you when you came in, had I already talked about the that other finished quilt top that's hanging up behind my Raspberry Kisses?
Yes.
I can't just, I guess what I'm gonna do is just go in the craft room, and I'm just going to find, because I have yardage in there, cotton yardage.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just gonna pick something that's kind of like what I did with, remember how I used this for backing?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna find another one that's off like that and put on the back of that one.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. All right. See. Now we need a straight line over here because I don't want it to be off. The idea is just to figure out how to do this darn thing first. And I'll be able to draw a line on it. So, all right, 3 inches it says. All right.
Bring
now,
my machine down here and let people see what I'm working on.
Throw that in my little bucket. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this purple one and draw the line on the back. So let me get my tablet over here. Should be able to unplug it now. I had to plug it in. This Kindle is old. It's a 10-inch by something, and I've had it a really long time. So, and I went to see if, I think my next tablet is going to probably be a Samsung or something, because
yeah,
I want an unbranded tablet where I can do what, because I can't put Google on here or Facebook on here.
Oh,
because the fact that it's an Amazon thing, it won't let you put it on there. So you have to use their.
What brand do you have?
This is an Amazon Kindle.
Okay.
The Kindle Fire.
Yeah.
The Kindle Fire.
Yeah.
And I didn't know at the time when I bought it that it would limit what I could put on here. Okay, it says to draw a line through the middle. And then it says that you're going to place it see, look at here. Why am I confusing myself?
Because that's the confusing part. Okay, lay your block down, the bottom one.
The bottom one's laying down.
Now take your top one that you're supposed to do and look at the picture and lay the corners, do the top corner like you're supposed to first on the right-hand side, then go down to your left-hand side and look at that picture and do that corner like that and put a pin in and double check to see if it's right. It probably is. It looks odd, but it should almost be like the left-hand corner. I don't know. I'm just saying this. The left-hand corner of the top fabric should be on the right-hand corner. Then the bottom right is supposed to be on the left-hand bottom. It's like kitty corner, but you're using opposite corners. Does that look right when you do that?
I wonder if I drew the line on the wrong side.
Yeah, avoid the line. I mean, just disregard it and see if that throws you, you know.
Something is confusing me. It says not like that, but like that. So, so maybe I'm supposed to do it like this, but then it's not long enough. You see that?
It will be when it flips over.
I know, but the way they're showing, the way they're look, see this? The way they're showing it, it should be corner to corner.
I'm gonna try to bring you up and get rid of the chat here a second. Yeah, Oh, that's right. Oh, but that's
But when
right.
but when I
believe
lay the block like that, it's too short.
it won't be, if now pretend like you're folding it back halfway. Like take your block.
No, I think you misunderstand. Look down here.
Yeah,
Let me,
I
let me put
see.
it on top of my tablet. When I turn that block the way it's talking, it's too short.
Can you check the width of your bottom fabric? Just double check your width.
5 by 3. And this other one is 5 by 3.
And they say to have it both that?
Both rectangles are supposed to be 3 by 5.
Okay. Go ahead and base stitch your 1/4 inch on that.
Okay.
What I was going to say is you could have folded that back, just base stitch it and see what happens. That way it's easy to take out if not, and you can fold it back and see if it works.
All right.
Once I did that, I had to keep a sample in front of me.
Yeah, I'm confused now. I think I might have drew the line the wrong direction. Let me see if that's what's causing me trouble. Not that it should matter because I should be able to flip it over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But let me see if that's what's causing me my little issues. Sorry, guys, but you're going to see me trying to work this out. This is the way to do it, is to work it out.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if that's what's causing me the grief. That's exactly what I did. I drew it on the wrong side.
Okay.
Look, see? Now it's lined up the way it's supposed to be.
All right.
So I drew the line the wrong darn direction. So that's what was going on with these other two. They were drawn in the wrong direction. How I managed to get the first two in the right direction, I don't know, but but that's okay. We're gonna make this scrap piece so we make sure we get it done right, okay? So everybody bear with me here.
I'm gonna go back to the chat. I had you on so I can see.
John is saying go off by 1/2 inch. Not do, but sew off. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So now I've got it in the right direction. So now it says you're supposed to sew 1/4 inch on each side of that center line. That's why you had to draw the line.
Yes.
Okay. Which I need to move this pin because this pin is in the way. All right. So what I'm going to do is, oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. We need to take this off and I need to move it to the right for 1/4 inch. And let's hope it doesn't hit that foot. Nope, it's not going to. Okay. And we're going to put that first 1/4 inch line on here. I hope. I need a different foot. That's not going to work for me. I need my little 1/4 inch foot. Okay. Ouch. I keep stabbing myself. Got to be 1/4 inch from that line. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to do that without the foot.
Do you have a 1/4 inch foot that you could just follow that line?
I do, but see, my machine moves the needle to the right.
Okay.
So, okay, what I can do is we are going to put another line on this scrap piece. And I'm going to mark the 1/4 inch part with my pencil because this is a scrap piece of fabric. and then I'll know where to put it based on the needle. Okay, let's do that. And I know this sounds like I'm over complicating everything. Okay. Now then we got to put another line on, or another sew line on the other side of that line. And it's going to be a little bit off, looks like. Wow. But I can fix that later. Okay. Let's put that 1/4 inch line on the other side. Okay, now that don't go to sleep. Okay, now it says that we're supposed to cut this in half. Well, stay away from the stapler, says Alibaba. Well, John. Yeah.
Well, before you cut it in half, have you sewn it?
Yes, it's sewn.
Now flip, before you cut it in half, flip one of the top parts over. And it should look like just like the half square triangle.
Yep, it does.
Okay, you got it. That's how you can double check before you cut.
Okay, now let's go ahead and cut it in half. Oh, stop. I'll give you something soon. Right now, Mom is trying to figure out something. Okay, now let's lay this over. So it's basically going to be making 2 of these. All right, now we got this first one. Let me do the other one. So what it is those other 2, I must have drew the line in the wrong direction.
Okay.
On the background one, that must be what had me goofed up or something. Okay, so now I have 2. Then it says, because I'm gonna go ahead and finish through on these scrap ones, so I'll have something to look at.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Then it says, then it tells us that we need to line up the seam with 2 marked 1/4 inch dots to ensure the trim area is fully within the unit, because we're going to need 2 inch by 3.5 inch. Okay, so I'm going to take one and set it aside. Angles like this is why I like my hand crank and treadle machines. I can drop the needle right at the point and finish the other and right at the point, making it, yeah. It's because I have I've kind of spoiled myself. I don't know why you can't just trim it like this. Nope, can't do it like that. Okay, now to set the needle, or set the, so that needs to be down here like this. Turn it around.
Let's see.
No, this is not even going in.
All I do it's John, right?
Yeah, John is Alibaba.
Okay. Do you sew on your hand crank and treadle machines most of the time? Or do you have computerized or mechanical?
So this
you got to be able to have a lot of ambidextrous to be able to hand crank and sew and to move your feet and sew. It's like chewing gum or patting your head and rubbing your stomach.
Okay, I'm going to use a smaller ruler so I can get this. They're cutting it up and it's teasing me.
That's wonderful that he does not have a computerized machine.
Well, mine's not exactly computerized. It'll set the 1/4 inch setting and stuff like that. So trimming this, if it's supposed to be 3.5 inches long, wouldn't you just set the ruler midways on both where you have overhang on both sides and trim it up like that?
You would make sure your angle that you weren't cutting off. How do they show it?
They I don't have a ruler like what they're showing.
Yeah. Well, you should be able to do that.
Okay, so we need it to be okay. So we're making it 3 by 2, and it needs to be a quarter, one.
I'm on with Katie. Just a second, I'll pick him.
Okay.
I'll go on mute. No. I'll go on mute a second.
I need to figure out where to make my first straight line is what I need to figure out. So here's 2.5 right here. So what if I moved it to 2 and, like that, and center this? Let's see. He says using an awl. I know what that is. It's a stiletto style thing. Since I have 2 of these to play with, I'm going to play guessing right here first. And I'm going to get myself a straight line started. They mentioned something about buying rulers for this block, and I'm like, why? I probably never used the rulers if you talking about buying a ruler for this. And they said it could be used for other blocks within the Moda Blockheads 6, and I'm thinking, yeah, but how many times are we going to use that ruler? Okay, I'm going to. You hear her?
Yeah. Such a baby.
Really? You are so unloved.
Oh, she's really telling you. She says, I know those people are on there and they can hear me.
She knows you hear her. This is how she does things. Really,
Yep.
Nora?
Using an awl. Let me see. John said, you should see me wind to bobbin on the Singer 12 hand crank. I hand crank and the tension in the bobbin thread while directing it to the bobbin from the top spool. No way. Using an awl. Like I said, you have to be able
Somebody's
to do
going to
all
say,
that.
please feed that dog.
He says, the dog is complaining.
Yes, she's complaining. She always complains.
John says, just one little piggy ear. That's all she needs.
Yeah, but I'm out of piggy ears. That's the problem.
Does she have a chicken?
Yes, I have chicken ready for her. And it would just take me walking to the refrigerator to give it to her.
Maybe you want to just
Quiet her.
Well, just so that it doesn't get to you while you're trying to do this.
Yeah, I'm trying to do this, and she's frustrating.
Funky.
All right. Gosh. Demanding.
She says it'll work. It's working, Mom. You guys hear how she stopped as soon as Katie got up? I'm trying to decide on how to lay these out. I might have to move my ironing surface over because it's too far back. Okay, I'm going to start with putting these. Move this one over here out of my way. I've had these for years. It's about time I started. I have done some with some, but you know, just like one Dresden, but I should really do a quilt or give these away to people that will do them. Let's see. Everybody handling this heat wave that we're having throughout the United States. It's supposed to get in the hundreds here starting tomorrow. Oh, well, the heat index already has been here in North Carolina.
Well, that doesn't sound good to me.
No, that's pretty hot. I mean, it's, you know, you may have a swimming pool or not. We don't have one, but the campground does. But it's too hot to spend time out there in the sun. You will get heat exhaustion too quickly. So it's sort of like too hot to, you stay in. And you sew. Now that my hand's doing better today, I put brace on it and I kept that brace on all night, slept in it. And it made a difference. I'll sleep in it tonight too. And this doesn't seem to be bothering me, but I'm really not using my thumb.
Look what happened when I trimmed it down.
Let me see.
So my trimming down is going to be a problem.
What let me see. What's the size of it?
It's supposed to be 2.5 by 3. And it was big enough to trim down, but it the way it explains to trim it down doesn't make sense.
Well, you are going to have, you do want that. Is it the correct measurement?
Yeah, it's a correct measurement, but look at where that angle ends with
yeah,
right there. And then the other one is like that.
Yeah, you kind of want a little bit. You'll know when you do it. You want a little bit of that 1/4 inch on the bottom and a 1/4 inch on the top. So when you put it in, you don't lose your point. It's weird. But see, now think of a 1/4 inch and you're sewing it in the seam. You see over there to your right hand side. If you sewed that into a seam, you'd still have your point. But the other one, if you sewed into a seam, you would square it off.
Yeah, it's not going to have the point.
So you can
okay, so I need a 1/4 inch on where this angle goes straight down right here.
Mm-hmm. You can slide your ruler.
There needs to be a 1/4 inch on that side.
Yeah, just slide your ruler up and down.
Yeah, so this side, the seam allowance has been cut off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, got you.
Yeah. You just have to slide your ruler a little bit and take off little pieces at a time until you feel comfortable with it.
Okay, gotcha. I understand now. So, because the length of it's 3 inches, 3.5 inches.
Yeah, I had to think that for a second because it hasn't been too long since I've done one of those, but I had to think it through to. Oh, I kind of like that. Let's see. Do I want a white here? Yeah, I want a white.
So the easiest way would be to find the center of this, right?
I'm sorry. The easier way is to be what?
So if I found the center of this rectangle,
do your 45 degree.
When I lay the 45, yeah, but when you lay the 45 degree on here, it turns the ruler sideways. See?
Oh.
So that's not going to work.
Okay.
Because then you're ending up with an angle you weren't supposed to have.
I would just, when you go to cut, just do little cuts at a time. Like do one edge, do one end, and then, or one side, and then go to the other side and do until you feel like, okay, now I know where I'm supposed to cut. I told you those. I have a love-hate relationship with those things.
So half of 3.5 is 1 3/4, right?
Yeah.
So why couldn't I just lay this ruler on, find the center line of the rectangle, which I just found, and then lay the ruler on 1 3/4 to get that first right hand side, and then turn it around and do the other, and then measure the off 3.5. Could I do it like that?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Well, then that's what I'm going to do, because that might make more sense for my brain.
And you're still working on your sample, so yeah.
Yeah, so if I mess up the sample, it's not going to be a bust.
No,
it's taking up everybody's time, but
no, hey, they're helping us problem solve.
Yeah, we're problem solving so we can get this right the first time when I actually do it. And it's a good way for everyone to learn another way of doing it, since the way they've got it set up on here. See, they're using a ruler that they have, that they suggested you could buy this ruler. And I'm like, no, I cannot. I'm not buying any rulers I don't need. Right now, my pocketbook is tight.
Hi, Melanie.
Hey, Melanie, welcome. So now what I'm going to do, what I did is I found the center of this rectangle, and I put the ruler on 1 3/4, because that's half of 3.5. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to put the ruler now on 3.5. And let's see if my mathematics part makes sense. Okay. It'll either screw it up or it won't. But I'm going to have to do the same thing with the width of it too. I'm going to have to find the center of it so that I can do the math on that part too. So it's supposed to be 2 inches wide. So I'm going to take and fold this rectangle in half, which means the center of this little rectangle is going to be 1 inch. I don't even have to fold it actually. So the center is 1 inch. I still have to fold it. Yes, I do, because I have to have something to lay the ruler on.
Mm-hmm. Jenny Drake says that you're responsible not buying frivolous stuff. You know, if you figured it out, you could, if you had a piece of plastic, you could have done your own template, huh?
Template, yeah. Yeah. But let's see if this, what do you call it? Ingenuity.
Yeah.
Works. So the middle is so we need this to be 2 inches. And so we're going to set this on the 1 inch line on my ruler on where I made the fold. Okay. Because that's how I'm going to know where the center of my rectangle is. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this side. All right. Then I'm going to turn this around and set it on the 2 inch line. And trim it. And we're going to still have the same, we still don't have a 1/4 inch on one side. See that?
Yeah, what's it showing in their picture? Like if they look at the ruler, like what does it look like?
It's saying that the cutoff spot should, actually they don't have a point.
Do they not have a point?
It says line up the seam with 2 marked 1/4 inch dots to ensure the trim area is fully within the unit. Oh my God, this is going to drive me crazy. So when I put the 1/4 inch on here, oh, and then when it has the, oh, you know what? When you do the 1/4 inch, and then it's going to have another 1/4 inch on the other side, because we got that side seam, it should have.
Just slap that baby together and call it good. No. Do you ever feel that way?
Yeah.
Yep.
John says their picture shows only one seam of a 1/4 inch. On that little screen, it shows that the seam at the top, not the bottom. Okay.
Oh, now what does their finished picture look like of the block?
You mean
Like,
when they start attaching things?
like what does it look like? Maybe, maybe
Well,
they
now when you're looking at, hey, yeah, see, you've got a point there, lady. Look at here. When you see the finish, see that? You don't
yeah,
see the quarter seam allowance on there, do you?
no,
So I'm assuming that when you sew them to the center first,
yeah,
and then you want go and attach it to your square and square, you've got another 1/4 inch line. It's still going to maintain a point. It has
yeah,
to.
yeah.
So okay, I figured out how to cut it down. So okay, that'll work. Got it. All right. So the two that wouldn't turn the way I wanted to, I just didn't draw them in the right direction.
Well, at least that's good that you know that. That way it won't,
Yeah.
you know what it was.
Yep. Sometimes
You're helping all these people that is going to come across doing these, how to brainstorm.
Yep.
A situation.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
Yeah,
man.
we never said that we knew everything.
Yeah, I definitely. Well, I already forewarned everybody that I was not going to. That this might turn into a hot mess.
My little half, got my half dressing going. So,
John says on the screen the lower part doesn't show any seam allowances at all. Yeah, exactly. Yes, this is the Moda head blockheads block number 4, Jenny Drake. It's the cat's cradle block that I'm sitting here fighting with. But I knew that I probably would struggle with it. That's why I already forewarned everybody, because we all know I'm not going to hide it from y'all.
yeah. Well, this is good. We're troubleshooting.
Yep.
We're finding out how to do things.
Yep.
Everything don't go perfect for us.
Yep. And I'm not going to hide it from y'all. I'm not going to give up. Say, oh, screw it. I'll just figure it out off camera. No.
Well, that helps them figure it out.
Yeah.
When
see me troubleshoot to figure out what I did wrong.
Yeah.
Then they'll be mindful that there could be this. I need to go. You know what? I'm going to go cut 2 more pieces of fabric. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to talk to you here a second. I'm going to end up moving my ironing station closer to me.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, Teresa. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was just showing. I'm working on Dresden's. Pre-cut Dresden's.
I was going to try and see how long it took you guys to figure out that I was here, but
yeah, we're all in our own little world here. So have you ever had done those half square rectangles and they give you trouble at times when
half square triangles? Yeah.
Enough with those.
When I first started quilting, I had a hard time with those until I finally figured it out,
Yeah, that's like Katie's doing a sample. I said, you do a sample, and then once you got it, leave it in front of you so you can see.
Yep. All right.
Hi, Katie.
Hey there, Teresa. Good to see you. I was hoping your weather would improve.
Well, it's not. It's raining really hard right now. So if
you disappear, we know why.
Yeah, it's the internet and the power has been really crazy today. So,
well, I don't know what happened so here's what happened today. Do I know what caused it? No. I came in here to get ready to set everything up and I found the laptop off. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting, because I knew I left it running someone's playlist. So it should have ran until I came in here. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then when I brought the laptop up, it was saying something about Avest wanting to do something, but that it had an error or something. I'm like, what are you talking about? So because Advest confuses me. So I shut it off. And then I went to reload the browser and it wouldn't even come up. And I'm like, I don't have time for this. So what I tried to do is move everything to Google Chrome so that I could do the live on Google Chrome tonight. I got everything where it was supposed to be. I was in everything I was supposed to be. Then when I hit the go live, guess what? Nothing. Zero zip nada. Even when I tried to go live just with YouTube itself, it wouldn't go live. So I don't know what the heck with Google Chrome. So I'm like, okay, this is not cool. So I had tried twice. I reloaded everything and told everybody I'd be right back, and I put it up. Nothing happened. So after the second try, I'm like, okay. I told those that were sitting there waiting for me to go live, I said, I'm going to shut this one down. I'm going to reset the software and try and see if that doesn't fix it. So I got off the live. I uninstalled Advest completely, reinstalled it, waited for it to do, which took a few minutes because when it reinstalls itself, it takes a little, like 10 minutes. And it reinstalled itself, and then I made the laptop do a restart to make sure everything got cleared out. When it came back on, then I reset everything on Avast again and got my reset a new live again and a new Zoom again, did all of that again. So that's why it's missing a bunch of information on the live itself. I don't have a bunch of stuff on it right now. I'll have to do that later. And when I went live, it worked. So something happened last night when I went to bed.
Huh.
Do I know what happened?
No. Well, you really freaked me out because you said something like, that's all right. I can't see right now. And I said, oh no, what happened? I thought something happened to your eyeballs, you know.
Oh,
I'm
I was
sorry.
like, oh
I
no,
didn't mean
and,
yeah.
and then
Sometimes,
I figured it out because
yeah, when I get upset, I can't speak right. Sorry. Actually, I think I done pretty good and didn't have a total meltdown over it. I didn't go bother Sean and say, I need your help. I tried to figure it out on my own, you know.
yeah.
All right, I need to look at these blocks because we need two going in the other direction, right? That's what it says, I think.
yeah, the opposite. That'll throw you off too.
So
But
I need to go this way. Yes, it's definitely going to tease me. So we're going to put the.
Can you guys hear the rain?
no,
No,
I
no,
can't.
Zoom is blocking it out, I think.
Oh, it's coming down really hard.
Well, I heard someone else was due for some bad weather too. All right. Have you ever made a cat's cradle, Katie? No. This
I
is
don't
my
even know.
first.
I don't know what it is.
That's the name of this block.
Oh,
It's called
okay.
Cat's Cradle by. It's called Cat's Cradle by Kiley Feron. And it says the Cat's Cradle block combines two types of half triangle units to create a balanced yet dynamic design. The crisp angles and layered shapes evoke the playful twists and turns of a cat's cradle, with the half square triangles and half rectangle triangles combining to add a sense of movement and depth. I don't even know what a cat's cradle is. Anyone want to tell me what that is?
I have no idea.
I mean, there's a song about the cat in the cradle, and
Yeah,
I thought he was talking about his kid.
yeah.
Cat in the Cradle with the Silver Spoon, that song,
Yep.
Silver spoon.
which is like, okay, we're talking about someone's rich
Or
kid.
like when you used to do the string, uh, strings with your hands and do different shapes. They had a cat's cradle in that.
Yeah.
I keep on
Oh
losing my
yeah,
phone.
that game with the strings.
Yes.
Yeah, cats. Yeah, I remember that.
It was cool when you could do it, but it's sure complicated learning.
Yeah.
So the cat's cradle might be a thing that was from before I was born, maybe?
Yeah. Well, yeah, a long time. Yeah. I think the string.
Well, you and I were born around the same time, if I remember it. Come on now.
Well, that's why I was asking. A lot of times people that are my age, they say that they had exposure in their childhood, but think about it. When I say I didn't know anything about it, I truly didn't. It was not in my childhood. So it
Okay.
could have been that my parents.
That was things that you learned with friends a lot of times that you
Well,
did
we
with
moved.
other people doing it.
Yeah.
And you would
And
switch back and forth your
yeah.
hands from their hands.
And I think that probably because we moved around so much after Daddy got out of the Navy. Well, we moved around a lot while he was in the Navy. But then when we first moved to Florida, we didn't stay in any one place longer than 2 years. He would up and move us again.
Because he was used to moving.
Yeah, so I think that like one of the classes that you get in the 5th grade is geography. I missed out on that. By the time I hit 9th grade, I couldn't do fractions because we moved around too much. And he just happened to be going to college, and they had something called the learning lab out there. And the guy, he asked the head of the department, he says, I have 3 teenage daughters that cannot do fractions, decimals, and early algebraic equations because they missed out because we moved around too much. Can they come up here and do this lab since it's an individualized learning type thing? He says, sure. You want to pay for it? Bring them. And he says, just know that they can't be running around. He says, my girls will. And we didn't because we knew what would happen.
Yeah.
And so by the time I finished, we were there, I guess we got to go an entire year. And by the time I finished, I could do fractions, decimals, and algebraic equations. That was as far as he could afford to take us. So I still had a lot of mathematics deficits. And when I started during my first year of college, first 2 years actually, I ended up taking 3 years of algebra, a year of pre-calculus, and a year of which was divided in half. There was one semester where it was physics, and the other semester was chemistry, because I needed it for my landscape classes and for my AA3.
Zaza's on.
Hey, Zaz. Oh, she's live?
Yeah, and she says that she had no, she's on your chat.
Oh, hey, Zaza.
She says they had a string game too.
Uh-oh.
Did I hit? Well, just a second. I hit her. How do I get her? Put user in timeout? No, unhide user.
Oh, I can undo it.
I'm sorry, Zaza. When I picked up my phone, I must have hit on your name.
Hang on, I'll undo it.
So no, I got her unhidden. So you can come. You can come back. Come back and play. Yeah, my thumb must have hit her name and. Say hi if we got you back in here, Zaza.
Yeah, Zaza said we had a string game too. That's what you accidentally hit.
Yeah.
Did she get kicked out?
No, she was just hidden.
Okay.
It just hit her. And I unhid
Zaza,
her.
please say something so we know you're there.
Yeah.
Because according to this, she's not hidden.
It says, Zaza, I'm hanging in there. I'm
There
frustrated
she is.
because I'm okay.
Thank God. I'm like, oh, please, let's not run someone off. Okay, for those of you that came in and you've seen that poll and you're like, what the heck is this? It has to do with the fact that tomorrow is Greenland's International Day, and I want to see how many people, without Googling it, can guess when Greenland got their, I call it partial autonomy, but actually, technically, the question asks, what year was Greenland granted home rule? And if you have any question, if you don't know what home rule is, ask and I'll tell you. But there's more information I'll read to you guys with dates after we, because so far it looks like we have 27 votes. 33% voted for 1959, 30% for 1969, 11% for 1980, and 26% for 1979. Y'all are gonna be surprised when I tell you what the date is.
I guessed.
Yeah, I told y'all to guess. If you don't know, just guess.
I had no
But
idea.
if you do a process of elimination, we know that the United States had Greenland in its protection from 1941 to 1959. So those dates should tell you, okay, they can't possibly have had home rule during that time because Denmark was under Nazi occupation. So then you have to do a process of a date elimination by thinking about, well, if the United States gave back Greenland back to Denmark, and there was a whole treaty that was signed between the two countries, then you might be able to, but then that means you have to go Google it and then you'll know what the date is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all want me to tell you the answer?
I like the way she says, we know. I'm like, we don't know, Katie, but you might, but we don't.
We know when. No, I don't.
I didn't know. I didn't listen. We all have U.S. history. Us Americans. Let's not. I don't want to throw everybody in the same bucket here, but us Americans all have U.S. history in high school. How many
Yeah,
of
but
you
that doesn't
ever?
remember. That doesn't mean I remember any of it.
I know.
Well, I
It
know.
doesn't mean I was listening.
And I'm gonna be frank here. I'm gonna be frank here. I slept through most of it except for World War II. That was the only part I found the least bit interesting. The rest of the time I slept because I was bored out of my mind because I didn't care about history. And sometimes I still don't, but depends on what it is. But Greenland has something to do with World War II. And during all the stuff that we did with World War II, we did reports, we watched movies. All of us had to do a thesis. There was all kinds of crap we had to do. I don't remember one time Greenland ever being brought up in the middle of all that. Not once.
No.
They were too busy talking about Pearl Harbor and
Yeah.
the Nazi occupation. And even the Nazi occupation really about the only thing that was mostly discussed the most was all the people that got ended.
Yeah.
Due to racism. There wasn't really this discussion on which countries the Nazis actually occupied. Some of it was mentioned, but not all of them. Like I never knew that Denmark was occupied. I don't remember that anyway. And that could be, I just have no memory of it. You know,
there's so many countries that was occupied during that time.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, it's been 45 years since I graduated from high school. When I went to college, you had a choice of you had to take two semesters of history, but you had a choice. You could take U.S. history from several different sets of dates, and I chose to take it from 17 something to 1865. And then you could also do European history. And now I kind of wish I'd have done European history, but I thought I would just be like, oh, this is so boring.
My husband graduated so long ago that he got it. I forgot what it is. I'm kidding on him right now, but he got his class reunion thing for this year that they're going to have. And it says the last one.
Really?
Oh, no.
And they just had
that's a long time when it's the last one.
Yeah. They just had our 45th a couple weeks ago, and I'm like, dang it. They keep planning these when I'm not going to be in the United States.
Yeah.
And they planned this one early in the year, and it could be they planned it because that was the only time a lot of them could get up to Lake City, or down to Lake City, depending on where they're living at, because some of them don't live in Florida anymore. But I'm on the high school Facebook group, and we talk to each other all the time.
Yeah, my husband keeps track of all his buddies. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have tons of friends when I graduated from high school because I was really quiet. And most people thought I was too shy. What it was is I didn't want to get in trouble, because if my dad got a phone call, that would be bad. So yeah, and now I've made friends with people that I didn't even know them in high school at all. Because the year I graduated, we were the largest graduating class in Columbia County.
Wow.
We graduated 479 students graduated that year.
Zaza says that most of Europe was occupied during World War II, and it was.
Yep. So they probably didn't spend any time talking to us in the history class about which countries were actually, occupied, because just say all of them are,
John says his, it was interesting what John has said. Greenland was shuttling planes from Ganner NFLD to Greenland, then Iceland, then Ireland, then Bovington, and Lancaster bombers, Mosquito heavy fighter and bomber, and hurricane fighters. That was that was a crazy time during the.
So last night when we had the live, Nikolai took y'all into the bunker where they kept the ordnance at, and if his phone hadn't have died, he was going to show y'all the barracks where all the American military stayed at, because the bunkers are still there, or the bunker is still there and the barracks are still there, and it used to be the hospital was there, but now I think it's finally I think they're about getting close to getting ready to tear it down because it's becoming a hazard. But Narsarsuaq might end up being more active depending on what all happens in the next few months.
Yeah.
I'm just glad I found out what those 2 helicopters was that flew over our house right after we got home from fishing, because it freaked me out. I'm like, I couldn't see whose flag was on them.
Yeah, to hear the sound.
Yeah, you get used to hearing the helicopters that we have here, they make a specific sound. The 3 of them that are here, and one of them belongs to Air Greenland, which transfers all of us. But the other 2 are used for tourist stuff and for going and picking up big things and stuff. And so they all make their own sound, but they never ever fly together in a group and fly over the top of our house. Air Greenland don't even fly over our house because they have a route that they follow.
Okay.
So that's what I'm like, wait, that don't sound right. And then the sound of them didn't sound right. That's why I ran out the door to see what was going on. Because you never know. You have to be,
Yeah, it's scary.
It is. And, I've gotten so complacent and not worried about, we leave our door unlocked and a lot of other things we do that most Americans don't do anymore. And if we saw militaries or jets flying over in a town where it doesn't usually happen, you'd be outside looking too.
Oh, hey, Katie, Zaza says you forgot to tell her the correct answer.
Oh,
for the poll.
That's correct. So John and who else? Wait a minute. Zaza says she guessed that one too, which is what John guessed. It's 1979. So let me give you a bit more information so that because something happened also in 2008, which was a few years, not long before I moved here. So 1979, they got partial autonomy. And then in a referendum in November 2008, 75% of the voters voted in favor of the Self-Government Act. This led to the inauguration of the Greenlandic self-rule from June 21st through 2009, which is Greenland's National Day. In addition to taking control over mining and natural resources, Greenland also attained the right to take over administration of several other areas. Greenlandic authorities thus today legislate and manage most domestic affairs, bear full financial responsibility in these acquired areas. Greenland has now taken over the jurisdiction of the vast majority of administrative areas, with judicial system being the largest exception. Foreign policy, defense, and national security, judicial and legal affairs, and the monetary system are areas that still remain in the control of the Danish jurisdiction according to the Self-Government Act. However, the Inuit Declaration from 2003 ensures that Greenland must be heard in cases that relate to the interest and to their interest and Greenland in areas that take over negotiations to enter into agreements with other nations. So there you have it.
Cool.
So 1979 and then 2008 was the I didn't put the 2008 on there because I was just going to tell you that one. So now y'all got a history lesson. And I don't feel like I'm being political by telling y'all this stuff. It doesn't hurt for people to know this.
You were just telling the history of Greenland. That's all.
Because tomorrow is Celebration Day. I'm sure that when they gain full independence, which is what they're working toward, when that happens, I bet you there is going to be such celebration going on that it'll probably go on for days.
It's sort of like exciting for them, but also scary, to totally be independent.
Yep. Basically, all Greenlandic people want to be independent, but they want to be under the Danish umbrella, meaning, like the UK, United Kingdoms. They want Denmark to establish a similar thing. So that's why the Prime Minister of Denmark's been going from the Faroe Islands to over here, because they're going to bring all three countries into a more modern way of doing things, so that the countries can keep their culture intact, their language intact, and control everything. But if they need help, Denmark's there for that.
That's going to take a while.
I think it'll probably take another decade.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to happen overnight. I hope it happens before I go bye-bye.
Okay, I'm going to try to get another Dresden done.
And when I get these sewn, we're going to see if these come out the way they're supposed to.
Are you doing the...
Yeah, I'm actually doing them now.
Okay. Yeah, it says none of the countries in the UK is independent, Zaza says.
They're not independent as in they can't make their own decisions even though they're under the UK umbrella, Zaza?
I think they're all, under the monarchy, hierarchy, or whatever it's called. Like the king.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you got the royal family running things. It's the same thing in Denmark.
Yeah.
Personally,
so decisions is made from that.
Yeah, I personally think that the monarchy
now they could probably, Zaza can tell us whether or not they can be part of the parliament.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is if they had people go to the parliament to talk about things.
Yeah.
Personally, I think we're in the 21st century and there should not be royalty anymore.
There's just traditions, too,
I call them having all that money being traditional.
Yeah.
I mean, they live in opulence. People are starving on the side of the road.
Yeah, but they make most of their money now by their investments. They don't.
Yeah.
The royal family, I could be wrong, but they're more symbolic than rulers. They're not really rulers anymore.
No.
Sasa says, no, we can only make a few decisions, but nothing major. Wow. So do you guys have self-government at all? because one of the things that's been being discussed so much here is, you know, everybody's heard this term, Greenland's not for sale. And the comment was made, well, Denmark can sell Greenland, and Denmark has stated flat out, no, we cannot. Whatever the Greenlandic people want, that's what they're going to have.
Yeah, that's
They're
what they
leaving it, yeah, so they're leaving it up to us to have a choice on whether we stay as we are or if we join the United States, and no one wants to join the United States. And about 85% of them say, we don't want to be Danish, we don't want to be American, we want to be who we are, Greenlanders.
Well, it's just like over in the UK and that Britain, you know, the Irish people are Irish and the Scottish
Yep.
people are Scottish, but they are part of Great Britain.
Yeah. She says, wait, she didn't say nothing else yet. Teresa, you're right. The royal family isn't in control, says Narsarsuaq. See, the Danish queen, I forget her name at the moment. She abdicated the throne a year ago to her son. She decided she didn't want to be like Queen Elizabeth and die serving.
Yeah.
She wanted to finish her retirement doing what she wanted to do.
I think Queen Elizabeth vowed that she would rule till she keep the throne till she passed.
I think the throne's about to pass to Prince William. Apparently, what's his name? I don't know why I can't think of his name at the moment.
King Charles.
Yeah, Charles has an aggressive form of cancer, so it wouldn't surprise me if William doesn't become king. And I think William might take the monarchy in a different direction, maybe. Maybe.
I think the people, though, in one way, I think they still want that. I mean, they cherish that it's different for them, you know?
Yeah.
I just have a hard time understanding what the big deal is.
Well,
you didn't grow up there.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Well, I know, but there's a lot of Americans who follow the royal family and are in love with them, and I don't understand where they got that sentiment from.
I think
I
it's
don't know.
through time when they did have power too, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
That's how you divided the countries.
Yeah, I'm not bad-mouthing them or nothing like that. I just don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, my ancestors, well, they're Scottish and Irish and German, like from Switzerland. Amish actually. They are my grandma, my great, that would have been my great, let me think. I think it was my great grandpa or my great grandpa came from England.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, you know, so.
Well, my dad used to talk about that there's a King Oglesby somewhere in England, and I'm like, yeah, so.
Yeah, we're supposed to have royalty of some kind, which you can backtrack,
but best I can tell, based on all the access I now have because of my DNA test, we have Ancestry in England, but we also have it in Denmark, Holland, Germany, Sweden, and a couple other smaller countries chopped in there. And then there's this one all by itself, or two little percentages that's all by themselves. And both of them are from Africa. One's from Congo, and the other one is from the peoples of Bantu. Mm-hmm. So we have a hodgepodge, but I would like to, I think I'm going to try to talk Thomas into doing a DNA, because they all of my children have Japanese descent in them. And it would be nice for them to find out who their family is in Japan, because their grandmother really didn't talk a lot about them.
Well, when people migrated in the early days over to the States, They did not talk a lot about
No,
their
there was too much.
background. They were coming to America, and they, you know,
My first husband, he experienced some of the uh bad feedback because he was Japanese. He looked very Japanese when he was a kid.
yeah.
When he hit about his 21st birthday, his face started looking like half of his mother and half of his dad.
Wow.
And so when Lynette was born, my oldest one, she had Shio's eyes, the thick lids and stuff. You could definitely see it in her. Now the other two, they were born with the dark, thick hair and the dark eyes, but they have my light skin. Well, Thomas doesn't have the light skin anymore. He's pretty much turned into a dark person too. So um which means that they inherited that side too. So but her and Thomas have my bone structure, not their dad's bone structure. Because he had that Japanese frame on him.
There.
He was the same height as I was. My hands and his hands were nearly the same size. But you could see the structure in his face. I learned to enjoy lots of Japanese food because of his mama. She was always making Japanese food. After the war, there was a huge anti-happiness sentiment. Why? Can you explain that, Zaza?
Maybe it's because of all the people they lost.
Whose test got? Someone had a test?
Oh.
Pat said she got the blocks done. She'll post the pictures tomorrow on Facebook. Awesome. I'm so glad that some of y'all are doing these and the other blocks. I am totally enjoying the blocks from the book. I didn't think that we would go as long as we have, and so far we're getting some wind to it now. Which reminds me, I need to start pulling out some more blocks to show and see who wants, so I can make another poll. Because we're getting close to the end of the next set.
Oh, you're working on your horse, Teresa.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm debating on whether I want to open these seams on here. Yeah.
For a little while.
I think I should open these seams.
You haven't worked on it for a little bit, huh?
Her horse.
Yeah, I think last Sunday, maybe.
Okay.
I've just been working on it on Sundays, and I thought, boy, if I keep doing that, I'm never going to get it done. So
it's probably one of those things that you got to do a little bit, sit back and look at it.
Yeah,
do a little bit more because of, your color placement that you're doing.
Exactly. It's
kind of like doing an oil painting, don't you think so, Teresa?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's a lot like painting. You just got to stand back here and there.
Yep. Yep. And you said you were taking a picture of your neighbor's horse to see if you could
Yeah,
see more.
Hoping it would kind of help with the shading and that kind of thing,
Yeah.
Which it does, especially like the eyes and the nose,
Okay.
Zaza says, Sherry, that Dresden looks pretty. And then Zenny Drake says Japanese work with Germans might be part of the reason. Okay. All right. Now I've got these rectangles. What I got to do now is trim them down. They're supposed to be 3.5 by 2-inch. Yeah, 3.5 by 2-inch. So let's try, make sure I get these done properly. And it looks like, let me make sure that I have all these triangles. And you can see I have them going in. Yeah, they're going in the right direction. Oh, maybe I should turn them around where you can see them. Hang on a minute. Let me make some room on this desk so you can see how they look before I trim them.
Yeah, these Dresden plates that I'm doing, they're pre-cut, and it's old fabric. They're not perfectly cut the same exactly, but I'm just going with it.
So I'm just going to do what I already did. I'm just going to find the center and trim from that direction, you know. It might seem like a little extra step, but
I notice I keep freezing. Sorry about that, you guys.
What's that?
I keep freezing.
Oh, well, is it your weather?
Yeah. And just so you guys know, I don't have my laptop up, so I don't see the chat.
Oh, okay.
I'm not ignoring anybody. I just,
Well, we'll let
well,
you
I
know.
guess
If it's saying
I guess I'm ignoring everybody, but I don't have the chat up, so.
it's okay. I figured with the bad weather, you might be having issues.
Well, it's sort of like one of the things that she's working on, the horse. You got to concentrate, I would think.
Well, and I figured if somebody said something, yeah, you guys would tell me.
Yeah.
Yep. Make sure I don't make a mistake here, because we need to at least stay right on task here. I need a different ruler. This is bugging me. Okay, that's better. Sometimes these creative grids has this right in the center of this longer ruler right here, right around that 3.5 mark. There's all this text there, and you can't see the hash marks. Let's hope I do this right, y'all.
This block here looks like it'd be for a baby.
One you're working on?
Yeah, because of the colors, it's got the blue, the yellow. I think I'm going to need another white in here. Let me see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, I need 5 more blocks. There's a blue, another blue. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, here's the first one. Wait a minute. Let me get it under the camera where you can see it. All right, let's do the other ones. All right, so I'm going to end the poll and find something else to ask a question about. What can I ask about this go around? What would be an interesting question? That's a really good question. Come up with a question.
Oh, hold hold on, I got something.
Okay.
We do a little trivia.
All right, that'll work.
It says, I should have known that. A trivia game about things you ought to know.
Okay.
Ugh,
Let's see what you're going to give us.
this is interesting. Okay, I'm just going to pull a few cards. It says, does the Statue of Liberty hold the torch in her left or her right hand?
Do we get to play too?
Yes, you can.
I think she holds it in her right hand. Y'all answer the question.
Whoops. Whoop, I just lost them.
Uh-oh.
I gotta find them again. Anybody want to play that? Does the Statue of Liberty hold? You guys are Googling it, aren't you?
I hope not.
I would.
I think she holds it in her right hand, but
Yeah, I think she holds it in the right hand too.
Okay, I'll let you guys get warmed up. So, yes, she does hold it in her right hand.
Because she has her, whatever that thing that's part of her dress, draped over her arm, over her left arm.
Just, I don't know if anyone, let me see.
Pat
Her
says
right hand. Pat said her
Yep.
right hand.
Yep.
What horror film features a famous scene where a woman is stabbed while taking a shower?
Psycho.
I don't know the answer to that one. And I think I've only seen Psycho once, long time ago. I don't remember all of it.
Let's see how many other ones get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what-
Give them a few minutes or
Yeah.
a minute or so because
I will.
the time lapse thing.
That's something
Oh.
that YouTube needs to fix is this lag thing.
Yeah, the lag. Oh, feels good to sit down for a minute.
Good.
Pat's telling you you're right, Teresa. That's what she says.
Yeah, Psycho.
Yeah, that's what she says.
What was the name of the hotel?
Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that part.
What was the guy's name?
Oh, crap.
Ooh.
I know it.
Shit. Sorry. I actually know who it is, but I can't think. Something
No, I
Bates.
mean,
Raymond Bates.
what
or-
was his name in the movie?
It was Raymond Bates or something like that, isn't it?
Nope.
Something Bates.
Mr. Bates.
Yeah, Mr.
Mr.
Bates.
Bates. Ah. Okay.
Anybody on the in the chat? I'm gonna wait before I answer that. Of course, I picked a question I know the answer to, so and that was out of my head. That wasn't on the card.
Was it Harry or Henry?
Nope.
No.
Herman? No.
Nope.
I, for some reason, want to say it was Ray or Raymond or something. But I'm probably wrong.
Yes. Patty is right.
Norman. There
Norman
we go.
Bates.
Hey, Andy, I have something to show you, so please don't leave. Because I had to ask my husband where he hid it.
Okay. I'm still not going to have any chat because my computer decided to do an update and it's only at
no.
3%. So dang it. So hello everybody in chat.
checking out the other questions here.
Gotta plug my phone in.
Hey, will it? What is a box for storing cigars called?
Ooh. Mm.
Okay.
That I don't know.
Nikolai wanted you to see this, Andy. The Peterbilt.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um,
He did good on that.
Yeah,
a
he
stogie
did.
box?
What kind?
A stogie box. I think I've heard that called that before.
Some. Should I go with the one that gets it first, or should I let everybody else have a chance?
Well, it looks like they're answering whatever you
Oh, they're
asked them.
answering.
Yeah. The lag is like 8 or 10 seconds, so I know it seems like a long time, but especially when you're waiting.
Yeah, you do, Andy.
I'll give him a moment.
Boy, I don't know what they call that.
Is it called a cigar box?
Yeah, that's what my guess would be, but
Yeah.
is that a
I
trick
wanted-
question?
No, it's a real question.
Andy wanted to show it to you last night, but I couldn't find it. And you know why I couldn't find it? He hid it in the blue cabinet in the craft room on the very bottom shelf. So I didn't even think to look on those shelves. It's like I was trying to show it to Andy and I couldn't find the darn thing.
Well, I'll say it for now because Pat and Laura and Patty, they got it right. It's a humidor.
The what?
A humidor.
Humidor. Okay,
Yeah, it
yeah,
keeps it from going stale.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I'll let him know what you said, Laura and Andy, both. He is on the boat headed north, but I don't know where he's going yet. I asked the question and didn't get an answer, which means he probably is working. Because they, as soon as he landed and he got a taxi to the port, they left.
Let's see.
I'm hoping they go way up north where they can. The ice is breaking apart up there, and I'm hoping they'll go way up there because fishing might be better up there. Because the shrimps like to hang around the ice. I forgot to ask.
This is a cool question. I want to see how many. I'm going to wait and see how many people get it right because that means that they've done it. How long does it typically take for an alarm to go off again after hitting the snooze button?
5 minutes or either 2 minutes.
10 minutes.
Let's see what they say. Remember your answers.
Or it might be 20 minutes.
Really?
Depends on how many times you hit it.
Well, yeah.
Well, you're saying the first time though, right?
Yeah, I am.
Patty G says 3 minutes. Hey, Kristen, welcome, welcome. Pat says 10 minutes. Laura says 9 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I know it gives less and less every time you hit it. Because I used to hit that thing a lot.
I still hit the snooze button on my phone. Snooze, sleep 10 more minutes, or however many minutes it lets me. I'm not sure what the phone does as far as how long it lets you.
Now, if I have my watch on, I charge it at night. But if I have it on, forget to take it off, my alarm clock wakes up to everybody who is comes on Discord.
Oh, really?
Fine, because I'm ready to get up then.
I can hear Discord. I can hear Discord going off this morning.
Yeah, my watch vibrates.
I'm like, really? There's lots of people up this early in
Bella
the morning.
Whisper Farmstead's here, Kristen. She's saying hi to Andy. Anyone else want to
Good
get?
to see you, Kristen. I'm hoping that this will go together the way it's supposed to.
I'm going to give the answer. The answer is, and somebody did get it right. It was Laura got it right at 9 minutes.
Wow.
Now, a person thinks I'm going to put snooze on for 10 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes. That was pretty close.
Yeah, that was. That's why I said, remember your answer. To me, 9 or 10 minutes when you want to sleep, there is no difference.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm going to do an unboxing soon. The longer you stay, the more of a chance you get to see it.
Remember what?
The longer they stay, the more of a chance they get to see them.
Yeah, you got the
because I got snail mail
got
today.
a package today.
Finally,
Teresa.
The things I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and couldn't do my job. Yeah, those.
My update is now 30%.
Nice.
The house.
I'm thinking that's what happened to Katie's.
Yep. Some update must have foobarred everything. So I know that a couple people said they were cooking dinner and they shared what they were cooking. Did anybody else cook any dinner? And if you did, what did you have? I want to know. Because I'm nosy like that.
I didn't have dinner, but I had lunch. I had ramen noodles.
I like ramen noodles.
Did you see that the ramen noodles was going to be put on the banned list?
Well, I think I
United States.
No, why?
Because it's bad for you.
Well,
based on RFK's information. He's got a list of things he's going to be banning.
Well, I'll make my own ramen then.
Yeah. Well, yeah, everybody, some people might just learn how to do their own.
It's not that hard to make.
No, it's not.
I have too many in here.
But some of the stuff that's on his list makes sense. They're going to take out a yellow dye number something. I can't remember which number. Two numbers of red dye.
Oh, I got to take more than that out.
Yeah, they need to take all the dye out. Just get it over with. And I for a couple of other things. And then of course there's the Gatorade, one of the Gatorades. Because it uses two different red dyes, and one of the other ones uses a green dye that's going to be on that ban list. And those dyes are actually banned in Europe.
Yeah, they're already banned in other countries. So
yep.
Well, they're thinking that
give it to America, they'll eat it.
Stuff like that. The process, the dyes could be part of contributing to the autism.
I think it contributes to just more than autism. I think it contributes to ADHD kids too.
Well, yeah. You know, they used to say certain dyes make you hyper.
Yeah. When my oldest daughter, Lynette, um, she was always having issues with her nose and her throat, and it was so bad. I mean, that poor child, as a baby, had sinus trouble, and so they sent her down to a specialist, and they did a allergy. They did some testing to see what she was allergic to. Y'all will trip out on what you hear what she's allergic to. I figured dust mites was the number one thing. I mean, because it kept the house dusted, but we lived in a house that was this double wide trailer. It kept my asthma stirred up. It was so old.
Was it
And,
mold?
nope, it was dust mites. The dust mites was in the wood. It was in the carpet. It was everywhere. So
Wow.
the doctor wrote a prescription for some this powder stuff, and I had to put it down on the carpet because the landlord wouldn't remove the carpet, and I took Murphy's oil soap and I scrubbed every wall in that house. The cabinets, everything that was wood got scrubbed. And the other thing that she was allergic to, of all things, is pineapples.
Really?
Yep. She would, every time she would eat pineapples or eat something, and there's pineapples in so many foods you wouldn't believe. She would get this weird rash around her belly button.
Well, sometimes they sweetened it, certain things with that too.
Yeah,
as
they
a
use that for
sweetener.
sweetening. Yeah. And so I told the doctor, I said, she breaks out on with this weird rash around her belly button sometimes when she drinks fruit juice, which is the fruit juices were real juices, and they were on the wick because my kids were on wick. And he says, okay, let's see what that is. And come to find out, it was the pineapple causing it. So I had to, every time I bought anything, fruit juice or anything that I thought pineapple might be in it, I had to read the labels to make sure that I wasn't feeding my child
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Is she still allergic to it?
Yep, she's still allergic to it.
And of course, dust mites. Yeah.
It probably will never go away. I mean,
No, she can get injections that'll help her sensitivity if she gets real bad again.
yeah. Let's see. Andy says he had hamburgers. Kristen said pickles are dyed, which is crazy. Are they really? I didn't know that. And Laura's asking about Zaza's fur babies. And Zaza says she's lurking while she's cooking the dog's food. You notice somebody ain't been noisy.
I know. You gave her food. She was really talking it up earlier.
Well, you notice that every time I would open my mouth, she would get louder.
Yeah.
That's how she's like, I'm gonna keep getting louder until you do something about it, Mom.
She's talking to you.
She's like, please feed me.
Let's see. Okay. Whoop.
She's definitely a little demanding little turd,
She says, I know when my stomach's growling.
Yeah, see?
Oh,
I love it.
Zaza's cooking for her dogs now. Her dog.
That's what you were saying. I love it that she gets where she tells me when she needs to go outside too.
So this is the one I did. Just did. Let me see. I got it there. I said it looks like it's for a baby. I did too many. These only take 16 blades instead of this might end up being a baby quilt or giving it to a children. Donate. I could donate it. That would be good. Do a few. I got a lot of packages, so
Looks good.
It's looking great. I guess I should break down and do a Dresden. I've done the fat Dresden a long time ago because it came in one of those sew sampler boxes, and I actually did it. It was I think by My Three Sisters or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or not, Teresa.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And so I actually have them. I need to find them, and I never did put them on fabric. I should think about doing that because they were for making a table runner with, so I just
Oh,
never
yeah.
finished it. Yes, I should finish it. But I'm not, I have dressed in big template ones. I just hadn't got around to doing anything about it. Okay, I'm gonna lay this block out now and let's see what happens.
Yeah, I don't think you ever really told us how those that ended up going with your rectangles.
Yeah, you're about to see. Because I'm fixing to lay the block out and then we're gonna start sewing. Oh, wrong way. Gotta make sure I put them in the right direction or it won't work. And I probably should spread them out a little bit because we still have the corner blocks to put on here. Where did I put the, uh-oh. Yeah, where did I put them? Oh, no.
Now my computer is cleaning up.
That's funny.
You'll be ready to go.
You're going to be all set to go directly.
A lot of times it does that at night, like while you're sleeping.
Right. That's what it should do.
Right,
You got tired of asking me, I guess.
Probably.
I kept putting it off.
Sometimes I tell it not for the next century.
I went from Microsoft, I think it was called Vista.
Yeah.
To Microsoft 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I lost every photo.
Oh,
every photo.
No. So
Yeah.
it reset the whole it reset the whole darn thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't my idea to do the update. My computer just did it, you know. And then I heard that a lot of people had that problem. So they started recommending that you download your pictures onto something.
Yeah, because
I did end up finding some of them. It put it in a really weird spot, but not all of them. So,
wow.
Having digital photos isn't always a good thing.
No.
Y'all, looky here, it's starting to come together. Now, whether it does what it's supposed to when I sew it, that is the other thing. But hang on, I'm laying it out and then I'm going to spotlight it so y'all can have a look before I start sewing it. Look, Sherry. Hang on, let me spotlight it. You gotta look. There's the block. Let me spotlight.
Oh, pretty. Amen.
What do y'all think? Now all I gotta do is sew together. Now let's hope everything goes together the way it's supposed to. But I do think that I should press these seams open.
That's pretty, Katie.
Yeah, that's really pretty. Yep.
Okay.
So you did it.
I did it. So now we just got to make sure all of this goes into place. But I definitely think I need to open my seams so that I don't have to worry about nesting. Because there's that, these are all, wait, no, these are not open on those. Because I never do open seams on the block and a block. Or whatever you call this. The economy block, right?
Well, it's a square and a square. And then if you add one more layer, it's the economy block.
Okay, got you. So that's where it comes with the name.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. There's going to be a big seam right here where all these there's going to be 4 seams coming into this point right here.
You could open it up there.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to go ahead and press these open. Probably should put the iron to them.
Laura says it's beautiful, Katie, and it is.
Thank you, Laura. I was hoping that the center would look good. Because I'm like, I didn't want, you know me, I kind of don't like dead space. There needs to be something in the middle. Otherwise, it's just going to bother me and I'll put something there, you know? When I first started learning how to do all this, every time I saw a block with big empty space in it, I'm like, oh, I want to put a pinwheel there. Because I had this thing about pinwheels for a while. I just wanted to make pinwheels. All the time wanted to make pinwheels. Even though we all know I'm angle challenged. Those pinwheels, I don't know. I still like making pinwheels.
Probably because of the challenge of, and how they turn out.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I definitely like them a whole lot better than I do making flying geese. Can't stand making flying geese.
The ones I don't like particularly are the hourglass.
Oh, yeah.
I like doing the hourglass. That's hilarious.
Well, some methods are okay, but some methods are.
The one to do that is crazy is the card trick. If you do it with all those angles, trying to get them match up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never done that one yet. Or I actually haven't done that one yet.
Well, they got easier ways to do them now, but
I guess I should think about learning how to do one.
It's pretty long.
Zaza says she hates pinwheels.
It's like, how do I get these seams to spin? And it's like they either spin and I don't know how I did it, or I got a roadblock for that, I guess.
Or you got the spin going right, but the seam allowance is all wrong.
That could be, I could be sewing the wrong.
Because I've had that happen where one side of the pinwheel, the seam allowance was perfect. And then when I went to add the other side, there's a gap. And I'm like, why? Because the idea is to make it come to a point where there's no gap. I must have cut myself while I was cutting fabric, or I poked my finger with a needle because there's a little drop of blood on that white. And it had to come from my finger.
Zaza says it's very pretty block, Katie.
Thank you, Zaza. All right, I'm going to press these before I sew them so that they're flat, because that seam here is going to be very, very bulky. So I'm going to do 2 at a time. That way I don't get myself confused. And then we're going to sew this whole thing together. And how I'm going to sew it together is I'm going to sew 2 long strips, and then, well, first I'm going to join all of these half triangles. I'll do that first. And then what I'll do is I'll probably do it from side to side this way. I'll sew this one onto this square, this side onto the square, and then I'll sew this whole long on this side, and then we'll join them all together. I think that would be the best thing to do. And then I will show you the block, and then we're going to do an unboxing.
Is it still storming there, Teresa?
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to turn the spotlight off.
Oh. Teresa, is it still storming in your? Oh, she's away from her desk, her sewing area.
I can still hear you.
Okay. Is it still storming?
It's all cloudy and cold. Guess how warm it got today?
I don't know. 80 degrees?
50.
Oh, yeah, you did say it was going to be in the 50s.
Yeah. Yesterday was almost 80, and today it got to 51.
You know what the temperature is here today?
49.
You aren't far off. It's 47. There must be fog outside.
I had to turn the heater on. I made it most of the day, and then this afternoon it was just too cold downstairs. So
yeah, I think it's cold.
Yeah, I probably should think about closing the front door soon. This is cracked. And when I went out today to the store, I was down into town, and I walked out the door and I was waiting on, no, I stopped and got a burger to go as well. And I'm standing outside and I'm thinking, I'm going back inside because guess what was outside? Mosquitoes have come.
Oh, mosquitoes.
And they were flocking around me like ants. And I'm like, okay, I must smell really good.
I don't think of mosquitoes over there.
These mosquitoes only last about 6 weeks. And the ones I saw today were mostly males. So it won't be long and the big body snatching females will be coming to life. The females here are huge.
Do they bite you?
The females do, yeah. They hurt.
Yeah.
And then it'll be midges right behind them. And I find the midges more annoying than I do the mosquitoes.
Yeah, I guess like Canada and Alaska have really big mosquitoes like that too. We don't have, we have the little ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the males are really tiny, which is kind of crazy. But then when the females come out, it's like, oh my God, they're like 3 times the size of a male. And I'm like, how's that even? And that's not the only thing. The house, we all have house flies everywhere, but we only see them for like a month. And they're not the little house flies like I'm used to seeing in Florida. They look the size, some of them are almost the size of a yellow jacket.
Wow.
And I'm like, why are they so darn big? And so first, when I see them, I'm like, I'm going to hurry up and kill them because I don't want maggots in my house.
Yeah.
They always seem to show up when I get ready to cook dinner. It's like they smell you cooking and they come flocking through the crack in the window.
I was just going to say, we call those like poop flies.
Yeah.
The big ones are like around the cattle and horse. Yeah. As long as they're not horse flies. Oh my God, those things bite bad.
Yes,
I know.
do. Nope,
I've never gotten bit by one, but my husband does, and he's allergic. He just whelps right up really bad.
I have not seen horse flies. We don't, y'all, it's kind of weird here. There's so many bugs in Florida. I mean, all kinds. And when I moved here, like in the spring when our house starts warming up, the inside of the house, every now and especially in the spring, you'll see them. There'll be 2 or 3 really big black spiders that suddenly appear. And usually one of them that shows up is I don't see it until I'm on my bed watching TV and I see something floating in the air in front of the TV. And it's a really big spider. But most of them stay outside. But mostly it's midges and mosquitoes and flies, this spider, which I don't know the name of. And sometimes you'll see there is honeybees here that live in Greenland. And a couple types of moths because they pollinate. But outside of that, there's no other bugs. There's no fleas, no ticks.
How about earwigs? Do you have earwigs?
No earwigs. But I think I've seen silverfish here, which I never saw in Florida, but I think that's what I seen in our bathroom one day. I asked Nikolai and he says, there's silver something, he said. I said, are they silverfish? He says, they might be.
What about roly-polies? Do you have roly-polies?
Nope, no roly-polies.
I never heard of them.
Well, it's a sow bug.
Oh, okay.
But which way should I put this flower?
We always called them roly-polies.
Decisions.
Because they curl up in a little ball.
Yeah, they're all over Florida. They break down organic material. They're very harmless. They don't hurt anything.
Yeah.
I heard someone talking about killing their roly-polies, and I'm like, why?
Yeah, why you would do that?
Yeah, because they're harmless. They do what they're supposed to be doing, and they definitely don't bite people. We used to play with them as kids. Yeah, we never hurt them. We would just, touch them because it was funny to watch them curl up.
Right.
But the one thing we used to terrorize our mother with, we'd come walking in and we'd say, "Hey, Mom," and she'd be like, "What do you have hanging from your ears? Get them outside right now." They would be lizards.
That's funny.
We let them snap onto our ears and we'd go walking in the house with lizards hanging from our ears.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm
No,
serious.
they will. They'll grab a hold.
They're
We got
little
geckos
green
here. They're
lizards,
cute.
and they don't hurt you.
I've
But
never
we thought it
seen
was-
anybody do that.
We did it because it was funny to watch my mom's
That's funny.
reaction. And you know what? I have an issue.
My mom was terrified of frogs and grasshoppers, and I think it's because they hop.
Oh yeah, it scared her.
Yeah. We used to think that was pretty funny. And of course, there was 5 of us kids, so we were always bringing in frogs and grasshoppers,
We did a lot of things outside. We were always outside. I have scar on my leg from where I climbed a barbed wire fence. And I could hear my mama yelling, "Don't climb that fence!" And then I go up my thigh. Just tore it like paper. We're not going to have any 1/4 inch points up here.
That's okay.
They're like not there.
Well, things I don't like are black widows and rattlesnakes.
I don't like snakes.
We have
It's
no
because
reptiles
they
here.
scare you. They just slither on through,
I don't mind snakes. I just don't like rattlesnakes.
Yeah. You hear that rattle, you know that you're close.
Yeah.
The snake in Florida that is the worst one to deal with is the water moccasins because they'll come after you.
Yeah. So
As
will a
long-
rattlesnake.
Rattlesnakes usually only come. Now, why is this one fine and the rest of them are not? It's
If you
okay.
get close to their
Oh.
den, they will come after you.
Yeah, they will. You know what else? I went to a snake uh exhibition at the college while I was in college, and the guy had different snakes, but one of them that he had was a king cobra, and he was talking about all of the misinformation about king cobras. He said that most cobras will not just outright attack you unless it's a female guarding its nest, and she will come after you. But the males usually, if they can avoid any kind of confrontation, they will go.
Yeah, and see, that's probably what the rattlesnakes are doing.
Yeah.
I never stopped to look to see if it was male or female.
Well, most people don't.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing would happen.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
The chat has slowed down.
We need to ask another question then.
Well, yeah, they think that Becca's on. It's Friday, huh?
Yeah. John says it did seem like there were some seams that were not allotted for in the drawing. Yeah. And you know what? I'm going to sew this together because I can still make another one and see if I can't figure out how to fix that. And then I'll have 2 of them and I can use the original as an orphan block,
Yeah.
Is it 5 o'clock already?
I don't know what time it is.
I have 10 after 8 Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
yeah.
So it
it's
would be 5
5.
o'clock. Yeah.
Oh, I've been going for a little while. Well, no, because I got a late start. I didn't get started until 15 after 8. I lost a whole 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Trying to get myself online.
Let's see.
Close to finishing this, and then we'll do the unboxing. And then if people want to jet on over somewhere else, they can.
You guys want another question?
Yeah, give another question.
Okay, let me find one or two.
John says, I used to catch minnows for bait fish in Ontario, and the water snakes would swim at you. The only poisonous one we had was a moccasin. Moccasins will definitely come after you. They will come out of the water up on land to chase your behind. I don't know why they're so aggressive. My dad used to tell us if we saw a black snake that had a white on its mouth, on the inside of its mouth, because they open their mouth, he says, don't move. That's what he would tell us. Because he would take us back in the tributaries of the St. Johns River, and they're everywhere in there.
Let's see. Okay, here's one. What do you call the charge to play a round of golf? What do they call it when they charge you to play?
I don't know the answer to that one. A round of golf?
Yeah, a round of golf.
Yeah, you're playing a round of golf.
Yeah.
Was that the question?
That means when you're golfing. Yeah. What is the fee called? The charge called?
18 hole?
No.
No,
Fee?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a golf person.
Yes. John says they're called scandalous golf fees. They are called green fees. You got to play. Now you guys, I know.
Oh, that was a trick one.
I know. I almost gave it away when I said it. This is interesting. In what modern day country is the historical region of Transylvania of Count Dracula found? What modern country?
I should know the answer to that.
Oh God, I was just reading about that the other day.
Oh my gosh, I know the answer to that, and I can't think of it.
Starts with a B.
Not
Well, yeah.
Bulgaria. Maybe.
Bolvovich?
No.
Try another guess.
I'm pretty sure. I think it starts with a B, but I can't remember.
Well, there's Bulgaria. There's Bolivia.
No, it's not those.
John says Bulgaria.
Well, what's the modern name for the country? That's what it wants to know. What do we call it today?
John says Slavia.
He's close. He's very close.
Not Yugoslavia, is it?
No. It is the Slovak country. I'll tell you that much. That's a little clue. Now, Belarus, I don't know.
Belarus, says John.
No. Oh, Tasha's here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Tasha.
Hey, Tasha.
She's saying hi to everyone. We're doing a trivia question, and the question is, in what modern day country is the historical region of Transylvania of the Count Dracula found? John, you're funny.
If you want to think about that for a minute.
That says no idea.
Yeah, I can't think
Should
of
I
it.
go
right-
ahead and let you know?
Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
It's Romania.
Ah,
Oh,
gotcha.
Romania. Yeah.
And what's interesting is that my husband's grandparents, or one of them, was from there. He didn't invite people, but he killed a lot of people. That's how he got his name.
What is going on here?
Right.
He wasn't a he wasn't a vampire, but he was a killer.
Yeah. Bloody killer. Bloody.
Yep.
There was a lady that was saying that she was from there and people call her a vampire because of her accent.
Oh,
Aw,
So, but she's not the only one that they call that, because
yeah,
if you have that kind of accent, then
yeah. John's grandmother did,
people can
and
be
it was
mean.
they went by Russian or Slovak because Russia took over at one point in that, so everything changed. The territories.
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
We got something going on with this machine. I need to figure out what it is.
Hey, Katie, this is for you.
Okay.
What one thing does a koala's diet mainly consist of?
Fish.
A koala. Think
a
of them
koala, like a
a
koala
koala
bear.
bear.
Oh, because they're from Australia.
What
Eucalyptus.
What do they chew on?
Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus.
Yes,
It's either eucalyptus or bamboo.
it is yeah. The answer was
I don't think
eucalyptus.
Australia has bamboo, do they?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Something's wrong. I know what's wrong. Ah, would help. Now I got to rethread my machine. Darn it.
How many legs does an ant have? Like the insect ant.
8. It's either 8 or 10.
Anybody here wanna guess?
Could be 6. It's one of those.
Hey, it's either 1 through 10.
No, I mean, I think
I'm
it's
just
8 or
kidding.
it's either 6 or 8.
I'm just teasing.
I think it's 6.
Yeah, I think it might be 6. 8 might be too many.
6 is correct.
I knew it was one of them. Because spiders have 8 legs too.
Oh, what do they call the nose of a horse?
The muzzle.
You both, I figured you both get it. That's correct.
Muzzle?
Yep. I think of snout, but that's not true,
No,
is it?
it's not. It's the muzzle.
Yeah. What is the classic arcade game? Do you steer a figure gobbling dots and prizes while they chase by
Pac-Man.
monsters?
Pac-Man fever.
Everybody should have that. Tasha says it was a snout too. I agree with you, Tasha. It's a snout. That's what I thought. I guess pigs have the snouts, don't they?
John
Yeah.
says, I never want to see a 6-foot ant.
A bear has a snout also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and dogs have snouts. Yeah.
No, us horse people call them muzzles.
Yeah, on a horse, it's a muzzle.
How many Olympic rings are there?
3.
What?
No, 5.
What?
How many Olympic rings are there? I
Oh,
think it's 5.
yeah, I think it's 5 also.
Anybody? I'm gonna give the chat a second, see if anybody wants to guess that.
Yep. Y'all, we're waiting on y'all to answer. We're going too fast, I guess.
They're too smart for me.
Well, actually, that trivia you're asking, I can actually answer some of them. The one that Andy does, I can never answer them. But she does a lot of horror trivia, and I stopped watching horror movies when I started having bad dreams.
Yeah, Leanne does a
She does
trivia
good one.
too, and I never can. There's a
Yeah.
lot of them that I can't get either.
Yep. Pat says 5. John says 5.
The answer is 5. So y'all were right.
I wonder why they chose 5 rings.
Oh.
Maybe for 5 continents or something? Or does it have something to do with something else?
What is China's largest city?
Hong Kong. Let's see what they answer to.
What was the question?
What is China's largest city?
Or it's Beijing 1.
What about Singapore?
Keep on guessing.
So it's not Beijing or Hong Kong or Singapore.
John says that he thinks that the 5 city-states in Greece back when it was when it started.
Okay, I was wondering about
for the
that.
5 rings.
Tasha said the same thing. She thinks it's something to do with the original Olympics, maybe areas of Greece or something.
It could have been.
And John says Zinzao, which I probably said wrong.
No, keep on guessing. There's another big one. There's another little big one out there.
What's it start with?
Good. Okay, I'll give you a clue. Oh, you want to know what it starts with or what it ends in? It starts with the S.
Same thing.
Yeah, I didn't, Tasha, I didn't know that Allie was John. I thought John was Allie. And I called Allie all the time. Now, tonight, Katie said John, so now I know what his name is.
Yep. Yeah, I like to find out.
Poor guy been being called Allie the whole time.
Yeah, because that name is a mouthful.
Yeah. Alibaba.
Furball.
Google says the 5.
Oh, Shanghai. Pat says. Oh, I didn't figure that one.
Pat is correct. Shanghai is it. Prep for Eternity says Google says 5 regions of the world: Australia, Africa, the Americas, Europe, and Asia.
Oh,
cool.
I don't know if y'all have heard about this yet, but did y'all see that we're going to have another ocean pretty soon?
Another ocean?
Yep.
Yeah,
there's an area of Africa that's cracking off.
Oh my Lord.
and it's
They
going to
always
fill up.
said, they talked about California before
Well, this
breaking
one
off.
you can see the satellite of it. You can see where it's cracking
Do they know how soon when that would
within
happen?
the next few years.
Oh my Lord. It's
When it completes, it'll be an ocean in between the two places. So that place is breaking off. That place is breaking off will be an island.
Is it inhabited by people?
I think it is. I've been following it for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, and then about a week ago they announced that it will fill up and it'll be the next ocean, and so we'll go from 5 oceans to 6.
Wow.
Well, it's already kind of a fissure, you know.
Yep.
The crack is already there.
Yeah, you can see it from the space.
Yeah.
All you got to do is put it in Google Earth and you'll see it.
Is that from earthquakes or?
No, from the
The volcano, right?
Volcanoes.
The plates.
Oh,
yeah, they're moving. And I bet you don't know this either. Iceland will become 2 parts of an island too, because the plates are pulling the island apart there as well.
Wow.
But it'll still be part of the main ocean. It's not going to make a new one like it will with Africa.
Oh, Katie,
Yeah.
I went and looked up that volcano off of Oregon.
Uh-huh.
And it's 300 miles off the coast, Oregon coast. It's by off the city of Ostra.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And they don't think it'll affect people.
Well, I hope not. I just knew that they're talking about it.
And they think it'll erupt by the end of this year. But it's definitely going to affect the animal, you know, the marine life and all that, and the water temperature. And
y'all are going to see something bad about the block in a minute.
It's like 4,000 something miles down.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it hadn't been active in like 100 years or something like that. And now it's being active. It ought to be interesting to see what happens with the ocean while it's doing that. Y'all,
yeah, there's a lot of world changes.
Yep. Y'all, my block is going to be totally foobarred.
It's going to be totally what?
My computer finally came up.
Wait till you see. You'll see. Because I can already see it. But not in the way I thought it was going to be. It's going to be it's a different way foobar. Which means something went wrong. Their directions are just not. But it's all good. Or I cut something wrong one. Which is a potential possibility. What's the next question? And John says plate tectonics.
Yeah, plate tectonics.
Yeah, thank you, John. I was trying to say that.
Tectonics. And that is a tongue twister.
Look at there. Yeah. John knows about it too. It's called the East African Rift Zone.
I've been look at my row of Dresden.
Oh, look at all of them.
They never stopped. I just kept on doing them. Now I gotta turn the right side out and press them. Now the work begins.
John says, nope, they didn't include the seam allowances, because wait till you see what the foobar is.
Anybody else do? Now I think Jess did that block because I saw it on her. She posted it.
And I wonder how many times she redid this part of it.
Yeah. And I don't know if anybody else in the chat doing that, or?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and complete it so y'all can see what went wrong. And then after my live, or after all my lives this weekend, I'll sit down and see if I can't figure out how to fix it, which means redoing the outer perimeter. The inside perimeter is fine, so I know it's not that. I don't think because I cut everything the way it said to do it.
Well, they can make mistakes.
Well, yeah, that's true. Or it could be that people like me can't read their directions. Because I did watch their tutorial, and the minute she mentioned rulers, I'm like, really? I am not spending money on a ruler. No.
Yeah.
I have rulers here that I've been talked into buying and I don't even use them. 2 of them I don't even know how to use, which is a problem because I have rulers that I don't use because I don't know how to use them. The one ruler I want, I keep putting off buying, and the only reason I put off buying him is because this last time I went to the United States, I was going to buy it then and carry it home, in a carry-on bag or in a shopping bag because I wanted to get it home in one piece.
Yeah.
And ended up my suitcases were full of fabric instead. So yeah. But I was going to buy me a what's the name of that ruler that Gudrun created?
That who?
That Gudrun created that makes 2.5-inch strips.
Stripology.
I want a small stripology, and I want the big one because I love cutting strips with yardage. So I would use it. It wouldn't go to waste. It's just getting it here in one piece and not cracking it.
Yeah. Well, I think they're pliable. Well, they can still break then.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I can fit it in my on the flat side of my suitcase, because if I can get it on the side that has just straight flatness, it might be okay in the suitcase. And put padding under it and over it.
Yeah. Well, even if you had them, the store probably would have cardboard or something that you could put on it.
Yeah, there's that. You can pad it like you would a poster board or something.
Yeah.
Or a painting. You can pack it that way too.
I'm in the chat.
All right. Yeah, I see ya. Hi, Teresa.
What does that take? An hour for that computer
to update? Yeah.
Was at least that.
There you are. Look at her. She just showed up in the chat. John might already see what's wrong with it.
He says they didn't allow enough seams.
Yeah, well, you'll see. I have too big of, well, it depends on your perspective of this. If you wanted the square to overlap the yellow, then it would be okay. But that's not what this pattern was shooting for. And I have too big of a, yeah, you're going to see in a minute. This is totally foobarred.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Okay.
This is just for the people in the chat.
Okay.
What is my dog's name?
Oh my.
Oh boy.
We'll see who's out there in chat land.
See who knows.
What is my dog's name? And she happens to be snoring right now. Oh, I gave you a hint. See, he's a girl.
She's doing the same
girl.
thing mine is doing. Tasha says Fido.
No.
Oh, John says, here, boy, here, boy. That's what the name of it is.
I'll give you a hint. Starts with a W.
She doesn't talk like my dog does, so we don't get
Okay.
much
What
conversation with her.
what is Katie's dog's name? If you don't know my dog, surely you know Katie's dog's name. Pat says I have no idea.
Tasha says Fido. It's a girl, Tasha.
Della says Willow or Willa, sorry.
Willa.
Really?
Yeah, she says Willa.
Good job, Delia.
Tasha says, gotta step away for a bit. Have a good night. Maybe catch y'all later.
We'll see
Thank
you,
you for
Tosh.
coming, Tasha.
See you, Tasha. Yep, Pat got Nora.
Yep, Pat's got Nora.
Anybody know my dog's name other than Katie? For sure.
Ooh, I don't even know that.
I know. I didn't know your dog's name either.
For some reason, I thought you called her Willow.
No,
This Willa.
Willa. Her name is Wilhelmina.
Oh, that's
Oh,
cute.
got you.
That's what her name was when her registered name. And,
Yeah.
so I call her Willa.
Nora's actual name is Northern Lights, along with a big long name behind it.
And Brandon calls her. Oh, sorry. Brandon calls her Wilson. Now I don't know why.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know why he calls her Wilson.
Maybe he does it to be annoying. Or maybe he can't remember Will for some reason. Is he doing okay today?
Well, he's taken 2 naps already today. But I think that's the weather. Now he doesn't have anything to do outside,
Yeah.
So all this rain.
Prep for Eternity wants to know what kind of dogs do we all have?
Oh, prepped. Hey, Prep for Eternity. I have a standard Dachshund. She's a black and red.
I have a Maltese poodle mix, multi-poo.
Multi-poo? And what's the dog's name?
Lacey May.
Lacey May.
Yeah.
See, Willa's middle name is May. Willa May. My dog is a border collie.
Oh, they're nice dogs too.
Good breed of dog. They're very smart.
Yes, she is pretty smart. She's one of those dogs that can even smile.
Aww.
I loved it whenever Coda would smile. You could tell he was happy about things when he would smile, especially when his daddy would come home.
John.
I have a picture of them laying on the floor together, and he's smiling up a storm. The dog is.
That is funny what he said.
Katie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, John says, my dog, I asked him his name and he said, Murph. So Murphy it was.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Now, I'm not going to leave this block this way. I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to fix it. But let me see if I'm going to spotlight it. I'm going to put it on the design board too, so I can show it to you up close to the camera.
John has a lab shepherd mix. Got him at the flea market.
That's a great combination of a dog. You get the herding dog and the working dog all at once.
Our other dog, which is Brandon's dog, is a chocolate lab, and her name is Annie.
Aw.
And
Okay,
both of them are rescue. We rescued them.
I'm going to spotlight this and y'all will see the mistake or what is wrong with it anyway. Can
Okay.
you see it? I don't think these are supposed to be outside of it.
What's not supposed to be on the outside of it?
Isn't this half triangle supposed to be from here over?
Not necessarily.
Mm-mm.
No.
But
I think
anyway,
it looks.
there it is.
No. Is there a picture of it? Oh, you
Looks
got.
good. Looks right to me.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on, I'll show you the picture.
Looks all right. It gives it that curved look.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is definitely wrong.
Are you sure?
Yes, look at it. See how they got the point to point to point to point to point? Mine is not point to point.
Well, you know what? I leave it because I think it's pretty.
Yeah, I would leave it too.
Yeah, I don't see a problem.
Me neither. And every one of your corners are the same. It's not like one of them is wrong or something, you know?
No,
Right.
they're all like that. This one over here has a little bit of a narrower on it, but the rest they're pretty much the same except for right there. So I don't know what happened there, and it may have happened because I cut it wrong. That might
Yeah.
be what I did is I didn't cut it right. You know, when I was
Yeah.
trimming it down, that might have been where I went wrong. The block is fine. You can see I made a mistake.
Now, the one way you might be able to fix it is if you jack it all out and then do a quarter or a 1/8 of an inch seam
Mm-hmm.
instead of a quarter of an inch, and that'll bring those down a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah. So it's worth messing with it. I mean, the block looks fine itself. I'm not unhappy with how it looks overall. It looks fine. I just know I made a mistake here. That's all.
Yeah.
And it's
I think it's
okay.
just seam allowance.
Yeah, the seam allowance is off. And that's where the mistake happened. Because these center seams here, they all line up. And these are lining up, but they're just that triangle isn't.
Right.
But it looks fine.
I think it looks fine.
I think it does too.
I wouldn't mess with it, but if you wouldn't have said anything, I would not have.
I would have thought that's the way it was supposed to be.
Yeah, because if you think about it, this octagon could be on the underneath the square, you know,
Right.
or whatever this is supposed to be. 1, 2, yeah, it's an octagon, more or less. But anyway, I'm not unhappy with it. I mean, I've learned something today. I just need to figure out where I need to actually understand where I made my mistake so that I could try not to do that again. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was a challenging block.
Yeah, it's very challenging. I don't want anyone to go away from here thinking I'm unhappy with it. No, I never said I was striving for perfection here, but I would like to have a better understanding of the mechanics of this part of it, which is where I went wrong. So yeah, there you have it. One block.
Very good. I
like it.
Called Cat's Cradle. Okay.
I really like it.
Yeah, me too. Okay, and will take me off a spotlight. Who wants me to open a box?
I do.
We do.
This one feels kind of heavy, but let me make sure this is not a Modern Maker box. I have to whoa. I just dropped it. Hang on, I need to find a pocket knife. Let me see what's in this box. Make sure I'm not wrong. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure these are modern maker boxes. Okay. All right. So this one is probably I'm thinking it might be April's box, either April or May. Should be April's box because I don't think I got it April. Let me see when this was mailed out. This says, actually this says June the 9th. So there's still
Wow.
there's still, can't be right.
So you're still missing your other two?
I'm still missing 2 of my classic box ones. Really annoys me.
Huh.
Hang on a second. Let me check something out here. No, this might be a modern maker box.
Are you spotlighted?
No, not yet. I'm just,
Oh, okay.
hang on. I'm fixing the spotlight. Sorry.
That's all
Okay.
right.
I need to cut the paper though. Hold on. I was just taking a quick peek here. Plus, I need to put a sticker on a card because there's a code on it and I'm not allowed to share the code. Hold on. I need a piece of tape. All right, let me cut the paper. So as you can see, this is the box, what it looks like on the inside. And I'm just going to cut the, right there. And, yep, it is definitely a classic box. Okay. So inside this is a Cotton Cuts classic box subscription box. And I noticed there is not a color card in here, which is not cool. Okay. So one card comes with good things happen stitch by stitch. And I'll share this card, what's on the back of it here directly. So inside this Bally Boutique Spring Release Tropical Treasures for Hoffman should be in here. A floral by Sagewood by Crystal Manning for Moda Fabrics. A reproduction Carolina by Joe Morton from Andover. Blenders from Legendary Love by Sarah Thomas of Serendipity for Moda Fabrics. And this was boxed by Emily. There is some notepads from Cotton Cuts. That's like a lanyard. That's what you get. Sometimes you'll get, you might get a pencil or you might get a key ring. I mean, it just depends on here. And and I'll show you what else you get with this before I show you the fabric. And this, I am not an ambassador of this box, so the next boxes I should get are going to be full of boutiques because I chose this. I'm going to talk about this program because they made a new program. And I can show it to you. I'll share the screen here directly so you can see what to do. But they offered a new program called Platinum. And so if you are a Cotton Cuts Classic Box subscriber or a Modern Maker subscriber or a Chroma subscriber or a Java subscriber or a Mini Modern Maker subscriber, every month you can, if you sign up as a platinum, what you can do is still the same price. You don't pay extra, but you have a choice of whether you want to do like this month. See, I don't have a color card in here, so I don't know which month this is supposed to be. So you could choose to say, they'll send you an email, and in the email it'll show you what each box might contain. And it'll say, which one would you like to have for this month? And you'll click the vote button. And the vote button will take you to Cotton Cuts website, and you'll pick which one you want to get for that month. Okay, so let me take it out of the box. It's weird that it doesn't have a color card in here because the color card tells you what month it is. All right. So on the back of this card, you also get a freebie quilt pattern, and you can choose whichever quilt pattern you want. Now, normally, and let me show you what I'm talking about because I have some cards over here. Normally, you would get this card along with the one you see here and 2 other cards. One would be the Cotton Cuts Color Challenge card, and the other one would be designer of the month. And the designer of the month is the designer for these quilt patterns. And you learn about the designer who made the
Pattern.
the designer who made the pattern. Yeah, that's what I was trying to come up with here. And of course, I don't have any cards in here. I'd have to go to the bedroom. But anyway, I'll show you that in a few minutes. Okay, so let's go ahead and mosey on over and have a good look at this fabric. Okay, so which side y'all want to start on? Want to start on this side, or you want to start on the dark side?
Whatever you want.
John says cheat ways. Wait a minute. Dye it with yellow dye pen. Look out loud my cheating ways, he said. It looks round this way. Cool optical illusion. And then John says, open presents. Yes, Teresa, it looks like you were trying to poke me in the eye. All right, let's start on this end. And a lot of times these fat, so you get 12 fat quarters in a box. The only time that you don't get 12 fat quarters is if you get a modern maker box. The modern maker box comes with either 3 1-yard pieces, or if you order the mini one, you get 3 half-yard pieces.
Okay, Pat says red. Okay.
Okay, so we're on the red side, and there is no seam allowance on this one. But these look like dogwood flowers. Wow. Can everybody see that okay? Here, let me move some stuff out of the way where I can lay it flat. Okay. So this is the first one. Can you see it okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number 1. Now I'm going to take you to number 2, and we'll see if it has a selvage on it or not. And I have a feeling it doesn't. But it definitely, oh, this one does have a selvage on it. Okay, so this one is I Create, Therefore I Am. So this one is by Sagewood and what did that card say about that? Yeah, let me find it. The one that says Sagewood. Sagewood by Crystal Manning for Moda Fabric. So that's what this one is. Okay, let's take it to the next one. Ooh, I like this one. And this one has directional fabric on. This one's directional on top of it.
Yeah, it looks bigger than a fat quarter.
Well, I turned it around because it's directional.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted you to see the flowers. It doesn't look upside down to you, does it?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because that's supposed to be this direction. So it's kind of directional, and maybe it isn't. I don't know. But anyway, this one must be, yeah, I don't know which one. I'm not an expert on quilt or fabric lines. Okay, the next one is a batik. So we do know who that's by. These are Bali Batik Spring Release. This one's pink.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, I like this one too.
Yeah. Is that gray? Pink and gray?
It's pink and a really pale green.
Oh.
I don't even know if you'd call this green. It's very pale. It's like a pastel-y color green, maybe. Sometimes these cameras don't.
It looks different in my laptop.
Yeah, it's like a aqua color kind of.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not green. Maybe it's more like a bluish green. Okay, the next one is this one. I think is cotton, or it's either. No, this is batiks. Here's the next batik. Oh, this one's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Oh, this one's gonna be fun to use. Look at that. It's nice. And here comes the next batik. This one is definitely green. And it's a nice, I like this brighter color greens in batiks. I don't really care for the really dark greens, but I do like them when they're springy looking like this. So this is another batik. The next one, this one's interesting. No selvage on it. But look at there. This will be fun to use. This is cotton.
Oh, yeah.
Cute design. Man, I want some of that in yardage. That'd be fun as a background. Don't you think so?
Yeah.
Maybe a background or maybe a board, no, or a border, or this would be great for using as binding
Oh, yeah.
because you have that multiple color going on there. Okay, the next one is cotton again. And there's no selvage on this one either. And this one is definitely directional. So this one probably came from maybe this is a repro or something. I don't know. I'll have to look. I'll go on to for those of you who get subscription boxes from Cotton Cuts like this, there is a way to go and look this fabric up. If it doesn't have a name, even though you have the card and you still don't know what it belongs to, a lot of times they have this as yardage too on their website. And if you go over there, usually within a couple of weeks after they let go of the boxes, you can find these fabrics on their page for the most part, most of the time, unless they've sold it all out real fast for whatever reason. Okay, here comes the next one. Oh, I like this one. This is cotton. And this one is this one's Andover, created by Joe Morton for Andover, and it's called, and look at it. Woo-wee, this would be great for background. Look at that. Those are like little, I don't know, acorns maybe? But that's not acorns on it. Well, no, if it's on a larch tree. I was trying to think of those trees yesterday. Larch trees is the name of those conifers that shed their needles in the fall.
Oh, okay.
Larches. And you probably have larches up your way, Teresa.
We call the ones that we have are tamarack, and they turn yellow.
Okay. Yeah, they turn yellow in the fall.
Yeah.
And they have cones on them. Here's another batik, and this one is got turtles on it. So I have had my subscription with Cotton Cuts on this classic box since 2018. And over time, I have so one of the things you should know about is if you sign up for a classic box, you can tell them what you don't want in your box. Like I told them I don't want Easter fabric, Halloween fabric, children's fabric because I don't have any little kids. By the time I make a quilt for a grandkid, they're already big. Okay, here's another directional. And this one is called Legendary Love by Sarah Thompson of Serendipity. And I think I have some more Serendipity fabric in my stash. Probably from them. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the turtle one.
I like the turtle one too. But this would make a great backing.
Yeah.
And the last one is another one that's got they put some good colors in here this go around. These can be used for background.
Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. So here's the last one, and there is no selvage on this one either. But look at that. Pretty, huh?
Yeah.
So about the other two boxes you saw in the big box, those are Modern Maker boxes. They're probably April and May, I hope, because the last pre-recorded video you saw me do was for March's Modern Maker box. So I will be getting both those videos out within, or I'll get them made within after. Probably I'll start working on them on Monday because I'm not gonna because Saturday I have a live plus the celebration is going on, and then Sunday I have a pre-record earlier in the day, and then I have a live later in the day with Danny. So we'll talk about that real quick, and then I'm gonna cut y'all loose after the other two ladies talk about their channels.
Oh.
All right, let me talk about tomorrow night and Sunday. Tomorrow night, we are going to be working on, first of all, make sure you come tomorrow night because tomorrow night I have Andy from True Blue Quilts joining me to sew with me. So any of you that, because I foobarred the premiere for our pre-recorded podcast, y'all didn't get to ask questions. So if you have questions, please bring your questions tomorrow. She is looking forward to meeting all of y'all and talking to y'all. And we'll be sewing, and I will be working probably on my Tula Pink because I need to really get on a stick with that one so that I can get the quilt over to a certain young woman.
Well, thank you.
I wonder who I'm talking about.
Yeah, thank you for saying young.
Plus, I need to order backing so I can get that over to her, and I need to decide on binding for that. So because Sherry's gonna quilt it, and yesterday Teresa told me she would bind it. So we're gonna see if we can't get it to my granddaughter in a timely fashion. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Sunday, I have a pre-record that I'm doing with Shannon from, oh my gosh, I just had a brain fart. Shannon. Y'all will know who she is when you see her. Because I can never think of her channel name for some weird reason. But anyway, I'm interviewing her tomorrow on Sunday, and then at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, Danny and Myra and I will be doing the once a month mental health live pieces of mine, mending broken pieces or something, whatever I have it titled at. Peace of mind, mending broken pieces, something like that's what I called it. But anyway, come and talk to us, and put your 2 cents in there. It's going to be a safe place for you to come. So that's what I'll be doing. And then what I'll do is I'll work on the pre-records for the 2 boxes I just got in the mail, and I will be making blocks from the fabric that are in the boxes. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's where we're going to be at for this week. Okay. All right. So, Sherry, why don't you tell everybody about your channel one more time, and when you go live and what you do?
Okay. My channel's name is Sherry Yurton, My Quilting World. And I go live on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I like to share with you what I've been working on and maybe show you a block technique that I am doing. Just like to chit and chat, and I like the community. So that's me. On to Teresa.
Now we're gonna put it over here on Teresa, and
she does hand quilting. She does hand quilting.
Yeah, she does. She's been teaching us hand quilting too.
Yeah. I guess I draw a blanket myself. And I am a long arm quilter too. So
yes. Yeah.
Okay. So now I got Teresa spotlighted. Tell us about your channel, when you go live, and whatever else you want to share.
Okay. Yeah. I'm Teresa Louise. I quilt too. I go live usually by 2 o'clock on Sunday, Pacific Standard Time. I do quilting. I do long arm. I do art quilt, like collages, and I like to do arts and crafts, and I cross stitch and crochet. I don't knit, but I would like to learn how to knit.
You know, you should join me and Andy and Amanda and Shonda over for crochet night. We do it once a month on a
Oh,
Tuesday.
maybe I would get my granny square quilt put together or blanket put
Okay.
together.
I'll send you an email and let you know. We've already done the one this month, but we do it once a month, and we will have one coming in July. So I'll
Yeah,
send
that
you
sounds like fun.
yeah. And just bring your whatever you want to work on.
Yeah. And I'm a starter.
Yeah, I am too.
Hey, and you guys know who I am. So anyway, see you tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. Um, I, I really think that what I'll do is I'll try to get as much footage of the festival tomorrow as I can get. I do know that they're doing stuff in the sports hall tomorrow evening, but I don't remember what time it starts. And I think it would be too difficult for me to try to go live in there. So I might just do the live here and scratch going to the sports hall. Now, if Nikolai was here, he would go down there and I would just stay here and do the live, but you'll get to see what's going on in the town. There should be a band down in town square. So I'll make sure I get down there and capture some of that music. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it with YouTube. I might have to just turn the monetization off on that one and just post it, because if it's not monetized, they're not going to say anything about it, I don't think. But I'll find out. I know that when I
Are you
posted
are you talking about having music on there?
the band, there will be a band down in town square, and probably part of the music will be mostly in Greenlandic. It'll probably
Yeah,
be mostly
that
all
won't
Greenlandic music.
that should not affect your monetization thing.
Yeah.
If you look in the rules, it says that if you're like wandering around, they don't expect you to like, if you're in an elevator and music's playing, they don't expect you to turn that off.
Okay, gotcha.
That kind of thing,
Yeah, because
you know.
I don't know if you remember, I posted a video of when they were doing a celebration for, it was in the sports hall actually, and I went, and they were singing on the stage, and when I posted it I got a notice from YouTube, and they didn't give me a strike or nothing like that. All it said was, if you wish to monetize this video, you must share the income with the owner of the music, which meant it was one of the Greenlandic songs must have.
Oh,
Yeah, and that's all it said. So I didn't do anything. I didn't monetize the video because I wasn't sure how to do it without screwing everything up. So because I still
oh,
don't.
you were actually taking or filming the
I was
band?
filming the whole sports hall while they were singing on the stage. They had a choir up there, and the choir sang, and
That's
then
why.
it was mostly choir singing going on. Is what it
Yeah,
was.
if you're actually filming people
Yeah,
playing or singing, then yeah, you get charged. But if you're just walking by, then
yeah. And this is what'll be down in town square. They'll probably be singing music in Greenlandic. So, I mean, they sing some American songs, and if I see that happening, I'll probably not even film that part of it. But if they're singing Greenlander songs, I want y'all to hear it. So I'll just and I just decided not to use monetization for the last one I posted. And I think that's what'll happen with this one too. So it's okay. As long as y'all come and watch, that's what I care about. But you'll get to see more culture, and that's what I'm interested in sharing, is the culture, because like I've told y'all before, I didn't have culture. I didn't even know what that meant. And then moving over here, I got a better understanding of what culture means to people. So yeah. Okay. Now Pat says, good night, all, stay cool if you're in an area that has a heat advisory. John says, that would be so cool, Katie. Thank you for looking at the festivities. Yeah. Yep. And Amanda says she's loving the quilty YouTube community. Thank you for coming, Amanda. All right. So live, laugh, love, dream. What do you do with all that? You
Read.
create something. Good night, everyone, and have a great night. See you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, Teresa. Good night,
Good night.
Katie.
Yep.
Take care.
Hang on, let me. Okay.
It still wants me to be on.
Well, yeah, you're gonna be on
There.
There we go. Now did y'all abandon the? Oh, there you are. No, she did.